Stop getting shit people to do shit work to your cars.
Okay, so welcome back to the channel, guys. This is podcast number 7.
7?
You're not going to do the finger thing?
No, because you take the piss out of me every time.
He can't count to 7 on his fingers.
He has to use his toes as well.
That many.
Many. And we have an actual guest.
Hello. The man, the myth, the legend. Probably recognise his voice more
Yeah,
than his
exactly.
face.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Titch. The guy who's got a face for radio, really. Most people know my voice rather than my face. But yeah, commentator for all the Castle Coombe action days. And then, Autofest and a bit of Drift League and a bit of everything, really. Silverstone, bit of everything.
Literally get around everywhere.
I do.
That's a little ball bag.
Literally, I am. Yeah.
You're a little slut for microphones.
We'll go with that.
Little slut for microphones. I like it.
Did you just think
about
for microphones?
You've been thinking about that all week.
That came straight off the cusp, that did. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Okay.
And then obviously you've got me, Kev, Paul, and Ben, who everyone knows. And doesn't really like, you know?
No one likes us.
Yeah.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
I don't like him.
You don't think, what?
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
Yeah,
alright.
okay.
Well, thank you for making the effort. Anyway,
I did. I thought we were going to shake hands, but that's just weird.
we can
I'll
shake
edit
hands.
that out.
We've all made the effort. We're all going to shake hands. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so as you can tell, we've all come from work. Fitton has made the effort of changing his clothes. I've put a cleaner coat on. Paul, you look like a scruff bag. And you look very presentable.
Thank you very much.
You're making us all look like shit, so thanks for that.
No problem. When it was a 2-hour drive down here, I was thinking I'd better make, somewhat of an effort. And,
Seriously do appreciate you coming on though.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Looking forward to it.
Good. Right, so let's just dive straight in.
Let's go for it.
So what is your opinions then on UK drifting this year?
UK drifting. Right. This is my opinions. Here we go. Right, and I've made notes, right? So I'm going to be referring back to my notes every now and again. I think UK drifting is in definitely a weird position at the moment. We've gone from it being top back in the BDC days to a position now where there's not many people competing anymore, but still a lot of people are enjoying it, but then the prices go going up. And I just think at the moment the effort that goes into for people to get the competition outweighs the rewards. I think. I think that's pretty fair. The cost that people are putting into these cars, into the tyres and stuff like that, and what they're getting out of it in competition scenario, you can see why a lot of people are not competing anymore.
100%. This is what we've talked about before. Yeah. We have. To be fair, it was obviously part of Garage 500.
Yeah. And
it was Garage 500 that introduced us to demo driving and passenger rides.
Yeah.
And opened our eyes to how much fun you can have doing stuff which isn't competing, because there's no stress, there's no hassle, and it's just, it's just great fun. And it's a load of awesome cars, obviously. Yeah,
absolutely. I think when you look at comps, people now want to still keep the fun in it. And I think the lack of seat time within a comp and for how much it costs to get there, people are now moving over to demos and stuff like that, really.
Because you could go home after your qualifying run, can't you?
Exactly that, and I think people are enjoying the demos more because, like you said, there's less stress. You're out there, especially when you take something like Castle Coombe, for example. You're pushing that car to the absolute limits where else are you going to do that, really?
Exactly.
And you see regular drivers that will attend Castle Coombe that have completely stopped competing purely for the fact they want to do Castle Coombe every single event, all year, every year. And, whether we see it going, we'll get onto that. But I think at the moment we're in a very weird position where something needs to change. Something needs to change, and we need to, I don't know, is comp the answer? That is the big question, really.
I think it comes down a lot back to the whole, BDC, like you said, we always talked about it'd be fucking awesome to get to BDC. And it was a challenge to get there, wasn't it? And the scene at the time was a lot fuller. It was a full grid all the time. And now, technically, like the highest level, you could just, if you've got the money, you can just buy straight in to Class 1. Like, for instance, I could go out and buy, like, 1,000 horsepower car, buy a load of semi-slicks, and never have drifted before, and just go straight into Pro 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really, it's not really earned. It is to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Mark Brown said. I thought he said it perfectly. I don't know if you saw his video he put up, and he was saying he started at grassroots, and then as he developed as a driver and went up through the classes, through the ranks, so did his car. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just one big massive hit of money. Yeah. You need to be at this level, whereas it kind of almost is now. Like if you turn up with a BMW with a roll cage in it, you are going to struggle instantly, aren't you? Because you're going to get realistically 400 horsepower is pretty low in competition terms of today. So BMW pushing out 220 on a good day is, there's no fun in it because you're just going to turn up and go home. So I wonder if some of that's kind of part of it.
It definitely is, I think. And I think you're interested in saying about coming from the grassroots, and we'll talk about it later because we'll get onto drivers and stuff later. But one of those that stands out for me is Kuba Kozlowski, who, amazing driver, came from grassroots and obviously did Autofest, did incredibly well at Autofest, and has just gone up through the ranks, not through the ranks. And he is a very good example of where he's got to that point where he's like, I can't do it in this anymore. I'm going to have to go bigger, I'm going to have to go better. Yeah. Turbocharge his car, and where is he now? He's doing Drift League, he's way up in Drift League, you know.
But he did the first year of Drift League in the Class 2.
Yep.
Standard, and was killing it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's just kind of... Yeah, so I suppose it kind of goes against what I was saying to a certain degree, doesn't it? But I mean,
it's very rare you get that now.
Yeah, it is.
Very rare you get that.
He's a hell of a driver.
He's a driver, isn't he?
He's
basically a driver.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And
obviously Bartek.
Bartek as well.
Fucking awesome.
But he's also needed the power, hence why he's gone turbo.
Yeah.
So even he's seen, to be actual competitive
in this next class.
In the next class,
it's the moving up.
Yeah.
Which comes power, comes money, comes tyres, comes breakages, comes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think, for me, looking at current championships in the UK, obviously we've got a few championships in the UK, I think they need to be more driver focused. Now, what I mean by that is that there is a lack of drivers throughout comps at the moment, and a lot of people that are still wanting to do comps, still wanting to get into that. But with the current championships we've got, there's not enough recognition, there's not enough live streaming of it. There's no real incentive for any big sponsorship or big companies to come into it. For me, I was talking to some drivers a little while ago about how we can improve, how would we improve the current championships. And I think if you look at current sort of events in the UK and around Europe and everything like that, you need the crowds to be there to bring in the drivers.
Which is exactly what we've said.
Yeah.
And I think, personally, if you're going to make a drift event, you need to have a spectator event as well. You need to have some sort of car show attached to it, I think. Make it a big show, but have predominantly the drift event. Now, you look at the likes of Drift Pro, for example, brings in loads of crowds, but for me, that's still a demo. And I know a lot of people are going to go, well, you can't say that,
It's the second time I've heard that.
But
yeah, you're not the first person to say that.
It is a demonstration. But the great thing about Drift Pro is you're demonstrating to a wider motorsport audience, which is great, right? And absolutely great. But it does bring in the crowds. There's loads of crowds there because there's a lot of stuff attached to it.
Yeah, it's not just a drift event.
It's not just a drift event. You've got everything going on around it. And you look at current events. You take Castle Combe, for example, right? Everyone goes to Castle Combe for the drifting.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
They love the drifting. Yeah. You watch the crowds come in. But the reason there is so many crowds as well is because of the car show as well. Put on a car show. Put something else in there. Make it a good day out for everyone. Because not everyone's going to watch the drifting 24/7 while they're there. You want to have other things that they can do there and so on. And I think you need to expand it from where it is. You know, I love Drift League. Absolutely love Drift League. I have since back in the days when it was RDC and stuff like that. Yeah. And they are struggling for drivers at the moment. And I think the reason for that is, one, because of money, but two, because there's no other real incentive or no other, if you're going to be if you're going to have a company sponsor you, they need the vision. They need to be able to see their sponsorship all over cars. They need to see it on live streams and stuff like that. I think BDC needs to come back, personally. I think someone needs to come in.
I don't think it ever will. From the
I
rumours
don't think it
I've
will
heard,
ever will.
I don't think
but
it's
I think
even a
it need-
possibility.
It doesn't have to come in as BDC though, does it? It can come in under, say for example, a different name, but under the layout of BDC, the live stream, the drivers. You had like, I remember a few years ago, you had McKeever there, the Shanahan's all doing BDC.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest in the UK, wasn't it? But for them to come over to want to compete
I think this all
in
comes
the competition over here is insane. I thought you need that needs to come back.
I think that's great, and it keeps going round, it's round and round in circles though, isn't it? Because if there's not enough drivers, it doesn't make enough money to get to the next level. But if it's not the next level, you're not going to get the drivers.
Yeah.
Because there's a post I saw that was up on the Drift League. I don't know if you saw that one. It was up on the Drift League thing, and it said like people keep saying they want a full live stream and they're expecting us to be at a BDC level of live stream within like 2 years, where it's just never going. It's just not going to happen when we're not filling the grid. And it's like when you say it like that, it kind of resonates, doesn't it? But then it's going to be so much harder to fill the grid because you haven't got that whole massive live stream. But it's like you said, BDC people used to go out and watch it, and then other people would sit at home and watch it. And it's like what you said. You're like we're guilty of it. We wouldn't go out to watch it. We would just watch it on TV.
Yeah.
So
we're all just as guilty as each other.
getting people in through the gates, like what you're saying, it's like I've never even thought about that before. Like that's like.
Well, it brings me back to my point about no comp and having more festival style events,
Which is exactly what you said.
Brings in spectators and all the other aspects of it.
Which I guess is that kind of what you meant, where you don't know if comps is maybe necessarily the answer for the UK drifting.
Potentially.
So it's more.
Some of the notes I made. I think we need more mainstream events. You look at some of the events that do happen in the UK that maybe are small comps or anything like that, but really, really work. One of my favourite events is Dory Fest.
Yeah.
Dory Fest is incredible.
Didn't that used to originally just be for like rotaries?
I think back in the day it was,
Yeah,
but now it's
it was like a rotary.
Yeah,
thing,
but now it's all you've got to be JDM. But it's so cool to watch, and you get people from all over the UK go to it.
Yeah.
Katie Customs went to Battle Series.
Awesome. Yeah.
What a series, right?
And it's always full.
And it's always full.
Yeah.
Flat
and
out.
I know Gordon has a bit to do with it as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But like, how is that because it's a weird one, because your kind of car can be grassroots, but then you're getting some like full pro drivers turning up and they just look like they're having the best time of their life. Like you could turn up and do absolutely awesome in your Beamer, but then you could be up like, oh yeah, there's Matt Smith and Mark Monaco, like you have to go up like, do you know what I mean? Mark Brown went last year and stuff. It looks like a right laugh.
There's a recent video from Jimmy Oakes that he put on YouTube because he's been over in the UK and he went over to Driftland and took out a completely stock 46. And he said it was the best fun he's ever had because he could just go for it and just flat out and not care, absolutely not care, and just go for it. But by the not caring thing, you become a better driver because you're not so scared about other people. You are flat to the mat all the time. And they said to him in the video, he said, well, we do a winter series, maybe you should, come on over for that.
That would be so good.
That would be so good to see that. But yeah, stuff like that, you look over in Ireland, the Drift Games Bash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What an event they are, and all the Drift Games stuff. LC World Tour. You need something like that in the UK.
You're sounding like you're going very much towards like the kind of Mark Brown side of it, which I really like, and I really want to speak to Mark properly because he was saying the same thing.
I wouldn't. It's Mark, innit? And I hope he watches this because I can't stand the bloke. Stupid Honda powered thing. It's only because he ruined my commentary once. He ruined my commentary at Castle Combe. I asked him about something and he made a very rude remark about his wife over the microphone, and I had to take it away very, very quickly from him. And
that sounds like Mark.
It's just Mark all over. Yeah, I love Mark, to be fair. He's great. All that, those guys are great. Even though he's from Essex, which is
questionable.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that's definitely the way it needs to go, and then we'll see from there.
Because that's what he was saying though. Like, make it a community, which I felt like, I don't know, like. It almost felt like drifting was sort of breaking down a little bit of like a community, and it wasn't so much of like, what's the positives, what can we do to make things better? It was always kind of like, oh, well, that's crap, I don't like that, so I'm going to go sit over here with my mate and moan about it, instead of, whereas Mark was like, right, let's build something up. What's Ireland doing? How are they so successful? We need to be doing something like that. So I'd like to speak to Mark. Mark, give me a call. And he hasn't got my number. He probably doesn't know who I am. But
I don't want to speak to that little midget thing.
Do me on Facebook.
You look at Irish Drift Championship as well, and they put out a post at the start, not start this year, but early on this year, and they've got a stacked grid over there. stacked grid for the Irish Drift Championship. They're hoping within 3 years to have 350 drivers.
Fucking hell.
350 drivers, and they are ploughing into it. How are they doing it?
It'd be awesome to get like them to talk to Gordon almost, like see if they could merge something together. Because I know a lot of UK drivers are going over to Ireland as well.
Yep.
They are.
Yep.
So I mean, like, whereas it always used to be the Irish drivers were coming to the UK, weren't they? Sort of thing. Like there was always that, like, you know, you had Kevin Quinn and obviously the Shanahans and stuff. Dwayne. So it's completely gone now, like that, isn't it? But you don't get that over. It'd be cool if there was some kind of merge that you could do, like the two championships together. I don't know.
Would be nice. I don't. Are the rules different in Ireland, regards to tracks and stuff? I heard in Ireland it's actually harder to drift.
Really?
That's just what I heard. The general public hate drifting, because Ireland was such a high motorsport.
Yeah, with the rallying and stuff.
With the rally and all that, people still on the roads, and it made the public hate it. This is just from what I've heard. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. So it's actually hard to get places to drift in Ireland, almost harder than what it is here. So I don't understand how they're doing it right and we're doing it wrong. I don't really understand. I could be completely wrong, but I could be completely wrong. I'm normally wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I was wrong for having you two as friends.
Don't go start throwing the F word around here, mate.
I'm in the middle of this, alright?
You'll have to fight him. He's much bigger than me. You stand half a chance.
I think the losing of tracks as well in the UK is killed it off massively. You know, we look back at some of the tracks that we've got.
And stuff.
Rockingham, they were the best days at Rockingham. Whether it was out in the car park, out the front, or
such a shame, isn't it?
Or when they did coming off the. I always remember the one where they came off the bank into where the pit area was. And it was just such a cool. We got the Mayhem layout as well, and I just think stuff like that. And we're slowly losing more and more tracks, but it's interesting because I think MSUK obviously come in with Drift Pro, and it's opened the track's eyes a lot to drifting. You know, even look at Castle Coombe. You take Castle Coombe a few years ago, they would have 1, maybe 2 drift sessions of 15 minutes each, and that would be it. And now they're getting more and more. This year, for the first time, we had 4 sessions of drifting. For at least half an hour long, and they've gone. Hang on a minute. Actually, they're not like a bunch of hooligans. Well, they are a bunch of hooligans.
Yeah, they're definitely a bunch of hooligans.
But they're not destroying the whole place. They're not just crashing into each other. They're bringing in the crowds. Why don't we do more of it?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they've brought in more. You know, and like Castle Coombe this year, where they brought over drift games.
Yeah.
Best thing they've done.
Yeah.
Best thing they've done.
Awesome.
And they bring over drift games, and suddenly, you know. I stayed up there the night before when drift games were there, and they hadn't seen the track before. They've never even seen the track before, and you know they were talking to me and they said, "What is it like?" And I said, "Just prepare yourself.
It's fast.
It's fast."
Yeah.
And they went out and they said it's one of the best tracks they've ever drifted in their life, and that's just Castle Coombe, which is fairly local.
Yeah.
And you think we need more of that. We need more people to come over and show them that it's good. And
I think some of it's an image thing then.
Potentially.
How people perceive drifting.
I think it is. I mean, it always has been, hasn't it? Drifting has always been perceived as this not a real motorsport. Obviously, it's probably the fastest growing motorsport, and it is growing and growing and growing. And the more people that see it, you know, I look at Castle Coombe and I look at the owners of Castle Coombe, and they've looked when Drift Games come in and was just like, wow, you've brought a crowd of your own. Where has this come from? How big are you guys? Because they've never even heard of them before. And suddenly gone, actually, it's pretty good. The problem is we can't do much more with Castle Coombe. Could
you not do like a drifting festival?
Problem is with the drifting, you're limited on licenses, so you can only drift so much during the day. I think they just about got away with doing the 4 sessions during the day.
Is it a tyre screeching?
I think it's the tyre screeching, it's the noise and everything like that. Obviously, there's a slightly increased sort of decibel limit for the drifting because they're only on for maybe 3 laps, but. Yeah, I think to try and run a full day there, it wouldn't be possible, which is a shame. It is a shame because I think it could be a really good track to use. Obviously, you need to have some decent drivers because that is not a track for the faint-hearted. But
no, I didn't do very well there. My car was you witnessed me smash into the barrier.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Car wasn't working at all. And then when it was wet, I was like, this is amazing. Like I can just send it in third, and it's not valve floating at all. This is brilliant. Come up to the corner, windscreen completely fogged up. Look behind me. Never do that. And I think it was Gilby was coming in like super hot, and I was like, get out of the way. So I just kicked the clutch and just hit the grass and was like, oh no.
That's a song you don't want behind you as well.
But anyway, he coming in keen and I was like, fuck, get out of the way. So yeah, I went for it and just hit the grass and that was it. Like,
well, I'm hoping now as well, aside from this, sort of a positive to take from this, obviously we do want drifting to be perceived as this good form of motorsport. And you take the likes of Drift Pro this year, and then you take the likes of what comes off the back of that. Louis Edwards wins it. Louis Edwards then goes to the FIA World Games, basically, Motorsport Games, recently in Spain, and competes for the UK or GB at drifting. Suddenly the FIA are going, oh, actually, it's quite a good form of motorsport. I think there needs to be more of that, and I think there needs to be more pushing of that. I would love to see it grow and grow and grow, and I think it will grow. I think it would just take a long time to get there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we all want. I think that's what everyone wants it to move forward and be huge again in the UK. It always felt to me like the UK had a real like high level. Like the BDC was like a really high level. Like people used to come from all around the world to compete. Whereas now I just feel like everyone goes out of the UK to compete. If you're at a high level in the UK, you kind of go, I'll go to Ireland, or like obviously the dream is like you go to Drift Masters or whatever, don't you? Or French, like a lot of people are going over to the French Championships because again, you watch the live streams and it's just full. But it comes back to what you're saying about, and well, to be fair, and you, it's not just a drift event actually. When you think about it, they have so much for kids to do and stuff like that. That you've said it before, like, you know, it's a nightmare when you go drifting and you've got the kids because they're just bored. Yeah. Like if you could send them off, there's 20 quid.
If you can make that an event and a family day out, you're going to get spectators.
Yeah, which I think is a very good point. Which is, it's not. I've never personally even really thought about it until you said about drifting festival. But even if you did it in a comp way, so you go to a comp, but you've also got, I don't know, like dodgems or whatever, stuff for the kids to do.
A fairground ride, the food and...
I think with the car show thing as well, you've hit the nail on the head there, because you'll get people actually wanting to go out because they're like, I can take my car and I can park it inside, and people get to look at my car, so I get to clean it, show it off, and then while I don't want to stand next to it, I can go watch it drifting.
Exactly.
That's actually a really good positive. I reckon that could actually be really good.
I think you look at the Drift League and I think if they had someone on board that was pushing, you know, Gordon takes drift inside, someone else takes the car show side.
Can I ask if you're nominating yourself? Because I think you'd do great at it.
I'll help. I don't mind helping you.
I'll stand in the background and go, I made that happen, I'll take the credit please.
Yeah, right. Someone who's organised a lot of shows before, it's a lot of stress and it's a lot of time, but I think it needs to. But then the problem is if I'm doing that, I just want to watch the drifting anyway, so...
But once it's all set up, you
well,
could just have people in, like, you know, you go and make sure like that horse isn't biting that person over there, I'm going to watch the drifting.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a waste of you not doing the commentating, I think. But I don't know if that's just because I'm so used to you doing it that I feel like it.
But he's good at it.
Yeah, you are very good at it.
I don't know why people want me back. I just talk shit.
That's why you
I literally just talk waffle.
Yeah, but that's what everyone wants. It's because you're not scared to talk waffle.
I take Drift League this year. So round one, I wasn't even meant to be commentating it. I just wanted to go up for a nice day. And then I got there and then Gordon was like, we've had someone let us down. Can you commentate? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm here now, what as well. And I was there by myself and I was like, what do I commentate on during the downtime? And all I said was about an ice cream, and someone bought me an ice cream. And I spent a good half an hour talking about ice cream over the microphone. It seems Skippy took a photo of me just munching on this ice cream, and I just talked for waffle just about this ice cream for God knows how long. And everyone's like, I really liked your ice cream chat. I'm like, why? I'm so bored. I don't know what else to say. I was just making it up. And, you know, I like putting a bit of comedy into it. You know, I like doing that. You know, it's like Silverstone this year as well. You know, I might have got myself in a little bit of trouble. You know, we were at Jack Fest and there was a bit of downtime before the drifters come out because there was a car broken down on track. And it got towed off a track in front of us and it was a Honda. And I just said, oh, of course it's a Honda. Of course it is. And you could see all these people in the crowd just laughing their heads off, just going, no, we know it's a Honda. They're going to break down. And it's just stuff like that. I just like to bring a bit of comedy to it, you know. And I'm passionate about it.
It makes it, yeah. That's exactly. I think that's the thing. You're saying, why do people want to listen to it? Because people can hear that you're actually like passionate about it. And it's not just talking. Not a lot of people can do it.
No.
And it isn't just being able to say anything. It's being able to say stuff and get people in, like listening and involved. And like, yeah, you definitely got to.
It's taken a long time to get to where I am now. I remember doing my first event. And I was just like, what am I doing here? I've got no idea what I'm saying. I got no details about the drivers, and it was horrendous. And I'm so glad there's no video footage of me doing that first event.
What was it?
It was Drift League,
Was
it was back in RDC days.
Right, okay. Has anyone got any footage?
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
We'll add it in if you've got it.
Send it on through.
No, please don't. Christ. But
£10 to anyone who finds it.
No, how embarrassing. But then I look now and I think it's just one of those things now where I've just got so comfortable with doing it, and I enjoy doing it. I really do enjoy doing it. You know, there's a massive anxiety before it, and a lot of people don't see that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't see the anxious mess I am before I do an event. But once I'm into it, that's it. I'm going. I'm away with it, and I'm just talking absolute waffle just over a microphone. People get fed up. I remember Autofest, and obviously I thought the speakers were just around the actual circuit.
Yeah.
Turns out they weren't. They were everywhere. And I had someone genuinely text me from the girls' toilets saying, please can you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to go for a piss and all I can hear is your bloody voice over the speakers in the toilet. And I just thought it was quite funny. So I mentioned it on the actual thing. I was just like, to all the people in the toilets, thank you for listening to me. You know, and I just love doing it.
Lovely piss.
Exactly. I just don't know. I just become quite comfortable with it now, and I do enjoy doing it. You know, and I don't know where it's come from. You know, I've never been a person that's actually been that confident to talk in front of people, but it's grown and grown. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realise that. You know, a lot of people don't realise the anxiety that goes on before it. You know, only a few people actually know. Now I'm saying it to the bloody world now.
Are you okay, hon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and but no, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, from what turned out to be, you know, Castle Coombe, for example. How I got that in the first place was that I was meant to be driving there one time. And I didn't have my car wasn't ready, and they were like, oh, do you fancy coming on the microphone and just talking about it with the main commentator there? Because you know all the drivers and everything. And I was like, yeah, all right, you know, I don't mind doing that. I've done a little bit before. Started talking, and they were like, we'd quite like you back next time. And then it went from that to, oh, we'd quite like you back next time. And then, actually, we want you at every single action day now doing the drifting. And I'm like, cool. And then it went from that to, we want you at every single action day hosting me your whole day. So, you know, you'll find me at Castle Coombe now, walking around all day, talking to people, just talking to traders. I love it. I love it. You know, I get a microphone in my hand and just everything else it's a blur. I just chat away.
I tried it at Autofest just gone, the single dayer. So we had a guy who was doing a commentary, and then we had like a meet and greet. And I tried to walk around with a microphone and, what do you call it, like interview people sort of thing. Don't know how you do it. I managed about 3 people, and I was like, everyone's staring at me. I can't do this. So I just gave the mic to Paul, and I was like, bye, you know, I'm going now. So fair play.
I love it.
It's hard. Yeah, but I think it's like these podcasts. Like, you're still obviously quite quiet on them because usually it's just me talking, and I don't get a chance. I don't really let you. No, you just occasionally say, Diet Coke.
You're literally still talking over him while saying that.
Yeah, I know.
He wanted to say something then, and you still spoke over him.
Standard.
Yeah.
But like with these, I found these like really hard to start with. Like, because you just look back and you just judge yourself, and now you just kind of like, oh, whatever, I don't really care. Like, no one else is doing it, so who cares? Like, and like you said, I think the more you do it, the more natural you come. But I think like you've definitely very good
to sort of let you into my mind before it. Say Castle Coombe, for example, because that's some of my biggest events. Before it, I'm a mess. As soon as it hits 9 o'clock, I know now that I've got to do an intro piece. At 9 o'clock, I've got to, open up the show basically. So I sit there and I prepare myself and I take some deep breaths. I switch that mic on. And that's it. It's like a switch. And I'm talking away, and that's it for the whole day. Then I'll just be singing through the whole day. You know, I'll walk through the show, talking away whilst I'm walking through the show. And there's people looking at me like, "You're the guy that's talking. You're that guy." And to be fair, that makes me laugh quite a lot because they're just like, "You're the guy. You know," and everything like that. And you know, I just love doing it. You know, the thing I brought to Castle Coombe that I quite enjoy doing this year is getting people to message me on like Instagram with like shout outs. Clears a load of time, you know, for me, in the background, clears a load of downtime. Because I've got loads of downtime where I'm like, what do I say, what do I do? Just give some shout-outs, happy birthdays and everything like that. People have suddenly gone, I love this. Kids going there, they're just giving their birthday shout-out over a microphone in front of a national circuit. And they're like, that's incredible. And I love doing stuff like that. I love getting the crowd involved. I love doing stuff like that. Silverstone was my biggest eye-opener, I think, this year, where there was a bit of downtime, everything was quiet, and I said something over the microphone, and I basically asked for like a cheer back, and I just sat back and I was like 3, 2, 1 cheer, and I just heard the whole of Silverstone cheer, and I sat back and I went, wow,
I've done that happen, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they can hear me all the way over there, so can they. And I'm like, these thousands of people can hear me. And that's the first point where I've gone, oh, okay, yeah, this is quite big. But it sort of, I snapped out of it very quickly and just got back into the drifting. I love drifting. I've been involved with drifting since 2009. Various forms of ways I've been involved with it. And the position I'm at now, I love it. And there's more to come.
Awesome.
I can't go into it too much.
Ooh, exciting. Cryptic.
Yes.
We like the future.
2025 is going to be a busy year, I can tell you that.
Do you want to talk about 2025?
Yeah, I think we should move on to 2025 then.
2025, what's coming next year?
What's coming next year?
Next year then, well for me, I'm going to be back at Castle Combe once again. We've got a few other events to do as well.
Is that with Garage 500 or is that...
Potentially, yeah. So we've got some stuff in the pipeline for Garage 500. We're going to try and push Garage 500 a bit more for next year.
Awesome.
Now that there's been a baby that's sort of settled and stuff, and people over the winter are going to be building their cars back up. But yeah, hopefully with Garage 500 next year, we should be coming back bigger and better.
That'd be great. Anything we can do to help, and always happy to help.
Which outside man just cheer.
Yeah. Obviously they've been really busy this year. A lot of them have been busy this year, but it's grown such a big team. Now from what it was to what it is now. There's so many people involved with it now, but. Yeah, hopefully 2025 we'll see some good things from Garage 500 and some good events. I've heard in the pipeline that I can't say too much, but I've heard in the pipeline from various people that there's some bigger events coming to the UK. I don't think they're anywhere near us, but
nothing is.
We're down in the depth. Well, you're even more down in the depth down here. I think you need a passport to get down here.
You just need a passport and you can get through.
Yeah, that's right. It's all a bit weird down here.
It is a bit,
yeah. But no, I think, looking forward to 2025. I'm looking forward to seeing what it brings. I think someone needs to come in and change things up a little bit. And I think some changes do need to be made. And to get drifting back up to... It's never going to be the good old days. It's never going to be the good old days that we had.
I think it could be better though.
I think it
could be a lot better.
I think it could be, yeah. I almost feel like UK drifting almost needs a personality. Like, I always remember watching like Dave Egan doing his promo stuff, and he was there like talking to the camera and like building it up, and it was this whole big thing. And Dave Egan to me was like the face of UK drifting at the time because he was doing BDC.
Do you want to read my notes? I'd like to see someone come in and completely shake things up for 2025. Dave Egan. Literally is what I've wrote.
Yeah.
He came in, shook things up, became the face of it, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yes, he ploughed some serious money into it, but he was a face of it. You know.
It had that face to the drifting, and it's like stuff that we've talked about, isn't it? Like, think back to almost like when you used to watch like WWE when you were a kid.
Oh.
You didn't care about the actual fight.
No.
It was the drama. It was the soap opera, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which BDC had, because it had all of the media. It constantly, like, you knew that these two were rivals. They're best of mates, but they're still rivals. And it was that, like, fucking hell, I can't believe them two are going to battle. This is going to be epic. And it was built up before you even got there. Like, whereas, like you said, that whole kind of face and that whole kind of massive side of it's not really there anymore so much.
Do you remember, taking you back to BDC, do you remember Nathan Black?
Yeah.
Nathan Black, he was a comedy factor, wasn't he? That was a weird time.
That was so strange.
That was so strange.
I never quite understood it.
He
I was
didn't
like,
know anything about cars.
No,
nothing.
Didn't know.
But he came in and he just did this comedy factor to it. And actually, I quite liked it.
It worked.
It kind of worked.
Yeah.
I still keep in contact with him now.
Dude,
yeah,
I never met him.
He's a UK wrestler now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a UK wrestler. He travels all over the place doing wrestling now.
What?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Nathan Black Comedy on Instagram. Go and check him out. But yeah,
Come to a podcast.
The fact he came in and he was just like, who is this bloke? And everyone slated it to begin with, and then everyone kind of went, actually, this is quite funny. Like, he's got the comedy factor to it. It's a bit of this, bit of that. Makes a bit more of a show out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, really. But yeah, I think 2025. I'd love to. I can't wait to see what comes. I hope there's going to be some big changes. We shall see. Whether the people have got the budget for it.
It's a lot of it always comes back to money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's where everything stems from.
Yeah.
From a driver to a spectator to an event organizer.
Yeah.
It all comes to money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I put new tracks, new format with plenty of exposure.
Yeah.
Plenty of exposure to the wider community, the wider businesses. People will want to sponsor it. People then have money to put into it. People want to attend those events. Get some cars there for a car show or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's got to happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think that comes back to quite a lot of what you were saying.
Yeah.
But Good chat. Don't know what you were saying about festivals and stuff, but I mean, instead of it just being a festival for drifting,
my issue with competitions is drifting only really has one format of drifting.
Yeah.
You know, you do your practice, you do your qualifying, you do your battles. Whether you lose your first battle or win all of your battles, like, and there's a lot of downtime in between and stuff like that. Like, as a spectator, and for somebody that's not an avid drift fan, drifting in a competition setting is probably a little bit boring. Like, you're not quite sure what's going on. Oh, there's two cars, oh, they've gone. There's been a 30-40 second run, and then it's done. You've got to wait for them to line back up, you've got to wait for them to go again. And then once that battle, that stops, and you probably got 30 seconds, a minute before the next battle starts. You might not necessarily know all the drivers, so you don't know who to cheer for. As somebody that isn't an avid drift fan, it's probably a bit boring to watch.
I get that. Do you know what? I get that. And I think you look at some of the other championships, such as Formula Drift, and I think they've realised that. Because now Formula Drift have got rid of qualifying.
They got rid of qualifying, yeah.
And they're now live streaming the practice, you know.
Well, they realised that qualifying, nobody was turning up to watch qualifying. Because nobody was interested in the qualifying.
Yes.
They wanted to see the battles.
Yeah. And it's amazing how many people still don't know really what drifting is.
No.
And that is my key thing when I'm at Castle Combe commentating, is that I've got to realise that some of these people in this crowd would have never seen drifting before in their life. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
But these people haven't. So throughout the 3 sessions, I stage them. The first session is literally a education one, where I start off, what is drifting? Where you can see it in front of you, but what actually are they doing? What does it mean? And then we go up to the second session is, okay, let's remove some of the stigmas. Are they running 80 PSI on roadies that are part warns anymore? No. Why not? Oh, it's about grip. And then you can see some of the people go,
the amount of people who I've spoke to, like, oh yeah, you do that drifting, don't you? Like, yeah, oh, it's raining, that must be well good. Well, no, because you lose all your speed.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you just chuck any old tyres on. No, you buy brand new.
Yeah.
Like, people, what? Like, you searching for grip all the time. Like.
Yeah.
I had someone that asked me once, do you spray diesel on your rear tyres?
So they slip easier
So
and
they're
stuff.
slippery.
So what?
It's like, I don't know. We want grip.
Yeah.
Like when you throw it into a corner, you want to be able to grip, because if, you know, like for example, if it's raining, you're going to slide straight out on it. And I think it's hard for people to get their head around that you want grip.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I never understood it until I started drifting.
No.
Why would you want grip? Why are people not using space savers as skid wheels?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's true though,
It
isn't
is true.
Yeah,
It absolutely is.
It's
And
hard to get your head around.
And that's the thing I try and educate people through those Castle Combe sort of action days, is that by the 3rd session they've gone, we know what this is now, we're going to look it up, we're going to go more into it, we're going to attend events and hopefully get a broader thing from it. But yeah, it's just educating people what it is. It's not just something that just looks cool, it's actually a very, very skilled thing. And you know, I tell people, just go on YouTube and look at videos from in-car footage, look at footwork, alright? And then they go, oh wow, that's a lot going on in that car at once. And they're like, yeah, it's not just a case of putting your foot down and aiming for the corner and hoping for the best. It's hand-eye coordination, it's feet all over the place, it's hands all over the place and stuff like that. And they don't realise, they just don't realise. And I think, I quite enjoy every single day just starting off and going, right, back to basics with it. Yeah. And by the 3rd session, they're like, oh, this is cool now. And I'd sort of just leave it to go for the last session.
And then you just kind of commentate on what you're saying, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly that. And then when they get bored of my voice, because they're probably bored of it by then, I stop talking. I just say, all right, just listen to the cars now and just, G up all the drivers.
There's hellish sounding cars.
There is some, mental sounding cars. And you'd be amazed at the amount of videos I've ruined of people just up online. Adam C, for example, right? Every single video that he puts up of Castle Combe, you just hear my voice in the background. And I literally met him last weekend and I said, I'm so sorry for ruining all of your videos and my voice. And he said, honestly, I can't get away from you. He said, I do it at Silverstone, you're everywhere. I do it at Castle Combe, you're there as well.
He should be getting some rights for that.
I know it should be. Yeah. Adam C, do you reckon he'd watch this?
No.
Well,
we'll tag him in it.
We'll tag him in it. If you're seeing this, I want some royalty, alright? I want some of your money, alright?
So do we.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but we want it. We don't deserve it.
Just give me some.
Just some money.
What I want to ask you guys, right, the question for you, your best ever event that you've ever been at or driven at?
Oh, well, let's start with you.
Well, two really. Obviously, Autofest, when it was a competition, when you guys were running it.
Is that when you came second?
When I came second.
Nearly first, but you weren't first,
Yeah.
you were second. I can't even take
First
the piss.
loser.
And
You won Show and Shine!
I won something.
And the weekend at Driftland, when we did the weekend at Driftland.
Yeah.
Purely for, you know, it was probably my first time on a proper track. It was a whole weekender. It was with all my mates. Had a laugh, had fun. Went and had some nice food. Stayed in the hotel.
Had to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Still not over that, are you?
I didn't hear what you said. I wasn't listening. I give up listening.
Ah, leaving the hotel at 5 o'clock in the morning at Driftland.
Oh.
Someone pulled the fire alarm.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it was great.
We can name names.
Tom and Sam.
Tom and Sam, you pricks.
This comes up on every podcast now.
Fucking wankers.
Every podcast now, there's a bit of him going, Tom and Sam, you fucking pricks.
Absolute pair of bellends.
What's up?
I'm a bit conflicted with it because I'd almost agree. I'd agree with like the Driftland because it was with mates and I've always wanted to go Driftland.
Yeah.
So it was just awesome.
Yeah.
But then there's events like doing the passenger rides for the first time
Yeah.
with you guys. It was so different, and I felt like a mini celebrity almost.
Yeah.
People, it reminded me of why I did it because sometimes you get complacent. You look at your car and you just go, I wish it was better. I wish I had more money to do this. I wish I had that. And then you have people coming over who are like, oh my God, your car is amazing. I love it. I really can't wait to go out. And they're sat there like shaking before you're going out. And you're like, I'm about to go second gear around a banger track. And these like people, it's like, it kind of, their excitement kind of gets put back onto you. And you're like, this is brilliant. Like, and so some of those days I've actually had, it's been better than any others.
Mm.
You know, just because again, you're kind of with your mates as well. And you're just going out and just, yeah, so... I think Driftland for me, just because I really wanted to do Driftland,
Yeah.
and it was doing it for the first time. You know, it was like it's just such a cool place. But for like experience, just some of the demo days have just been the best almost. Like, but with passenger rides, I think the passenger rides over just doing a demo is everything. Like taking people out and getting them to experience it is probably one of my favourite things to do. To be honest with you.
In competition, my favourite time, I suppose, was RDC. When we went up to RDC,
I tried to forget. Yeah.
you tried to ship. Yeah,
I did.
I remind you
Shit,
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Which round?
No, this was
Santa
when
Pod.
Drift League was about. So he'd done it once a year,
Yeah.
and it was at Santa Pod.
Yeah.
It was just on a whim, wasn't it? We're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, let's just go do it. See what we weren't really. I wouldn't say at a competition level. I certainly wasn't. Anyway.
I'd just taken 2 years out.
Yeah.
And just had the car mapped like the week before, so I'd never driven it with it being mapped or anything, and was like, yeah, let's go. We changed all the alignment, got there, I couldn't drive. Literally couldn't even hold on to it. I was like, what's going on there?
Struggled all day.
I did.
Yeah.
Badly.
My car was broken the first half of the day. It was only running on 4 cylinders. Matt retrofitted an old school like Sierra coil to get the other 4 cylinders working, and it was mint, wasn't it? Which means I managed to get up for qualifying. I ain't got qualified mid pack
Yeah, you did
without
well.
any practice. Won my first battle. Can't remember who it was against. And then I'd never won a battle before this, so it was quite a big thing for me. And then lost my second battle against Matt Smith, who I kind of idolised a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was a real good day for me. And the same as what Kev says, the passenger rides, that I could do those every weekend. I would choose doing passenger rides and demos over competition any day of the week, 100%.
I think for me it's passenger rides more than demos.
Yeah, definitely. The first time we got invited, or I got invited to the Garage 500 Auto Fest one, it was just probably the best weekend
It's
drifting I've ever had.
funny because I'm sure a few years ago your goal was to get to BDC.
Yeah, it was. It genuinely was.
As opposed to now you're saying like, oh, I'm not worried about competition stuff. I want to do the demo stuff, the passenger rides.
And I've done BDC twice, didn't I? So
Yeah,
I found, the foundation that
Yeah.
thing they done, I've done it twice, and still would rather do passenger rides.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Definitely.
I definitely want to do Drift League as much as I can next year.
I want to see if I can get back into competition side of it.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can calm
Yeah.
my nerves.
Yeah.
Because I always fall apart with anything with pressure. You could send me out driving with a passenger in all day long, and I could go out with anyone and be like, yeah, fine, hold my not fuck up, basically. As soon as you go, right, go out there and drive, yeah, no problems, right, you're going to qualify. like that's it, and I just go to shit. So I need to be able to get over that, and I need to do it for me.
You need to get yourself absolutely plastered.
Yeah.
And so you're half asleep,
Right.
and then you won't worry about it.
Well, the hangover, was that how you did second
Yeah,
place?
exactly. Yeah.
You were asleep. You were asleep at the queue to go out on track.
Yeah.
I remember walking past and bang on your window, and you go.
It did work well for you, though.
Yeah.
Same question to you then. What's your favourite event that you've, let's say, not even necessarily commented on?
Remember,
just,
he's a drifter. He's
Yeah.
not just a commentator.
So I've got a few really. So my favourite ever event that I've attended was Drift All Stars at Wembley in 2014.
That was a long time ago now.
That was a
wasn't it?
long time, and that was the best event I've ever been to, and the best weekend for multiple reasons. One, just because it was Drift All Stars, and it was in a completely new location in Stratford, in London, outside the Wembley stadium and everything like that. It was just, the sun was shining. I got seriously burnt. I went up with a few mates, and it was right next to a casino. We ended up going to casino 4 times in one night and lost serious amounts of money. But we had the best weekend ever. It was just the whole competition. That's when I first got introduced to the Shanahans. That's when I first seen a gearbox change in 7 minutes from the Shanahans, lifting a whole car onto its side, block of wood under it, gearbox out, gearbox back in, straight on track, 7 minutes. I could not believe my eyes.
That's
Cool.
And just everything about that weekend, and I will always remember that weekend, and it was just incredible. For driving wise, it had to be the Autofest demos, I think. Now, I'm not by any means a good drifter, right? I did a lot of stuff on the sim, and that was as far as it went, and I got behind the wheel at Smeefart, at the Dakota,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, actually, it's not too much different, it's fine. And then they were like, oh, we need demo drivers, you're going to bring your car along? And I was like, not really sure about that. So in the first session out at Smeefart, I thought this is a bit tight, a bit technical. I thought, I'll just give it a go. And I was following Marcus Clare.
Fantastic.
And I was like, well, he's a lot faster than me. I'm in my 14, he's in his 32. I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to go out and just see what happens, right? If I can't drift, I'll pull back off and I'll call that a day. I went out, he kicked the clutch on the first corner. I thought, I'll kick it as well. I kicked it as well. I'm on his door. I'm on his door, and I'm saying to myself, I don't know how I'm doing this. I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm still on his door, and then he's transitioned. I'm like, how do I do that? Oh, God. Okay, I've done that. Back on his door again. I literally couldn't believe that I was pretty much there with him the whole time. I came back in, and they looked at me, the garage farm machine looked at me and go, where the fuck did that come from? I said, I don't know. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. And that day went absolutely flawlessly. Loved every minute of it. Was out doing demos, and yeah, it was great. The next time I did it there, it didn't go so well. I might have put it in the wall, and that was the end of my day. But yeah, that was not a good time, and I choose to forget that one. But someone managed to get it on a drone video. Cheers, fucking Toby. Thanks, Toby. Yeah, got it on a drone video of me just ploughing into the wall head first. So yeah, that was nice. But yeah, that was my favourite thing. But then I think also for like with your mates, I think there's no better event than going to your mates. I think we've had such a good time with various different people. You know, we went up to Driftland as well many years ago, and we did the Wurzel Scrummage, they called it, and it was a load of people from like Western Zoyland and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we all went up there. We hired a car transport.
Yeah, I remember Chris telling me about this.
Yeah. And we went up there, and there was probably 40 cars up there, all from the southwest.
Yeah.
It was just the best weekend. I went up with Matt Smith, actually. No, I went up with Hugo White.
I am cute.
And all I remember is just he hired a Volkswagen Transporter with a bulkhead still in. So I'm up sat like this for 11 hours solid.
Yeah.
And I just remember falling asleep on Dean Ormsby and him just like slapping me in the face every now and again. That's something I haven't seen in a while,
Yeah, what's
actually.
happened to
What's
Dean?
happened to Dean? Dino, where are you at?
Yeah, go on, Dean.
I miss him, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just slapped me in the face and he got loads of photos of me. But they got up there, back was killing, but it was just the best weekend. Just, you can't beat a weekend with mates, just having a good crack, beers in the evening,
Yeah.
another day of drifting afterwards. But yeah, I think
It's just with those kind of weekends, isn't it? It's just like the moment you all meet together in the vans, it's like you completely forget all your bullshit of having to work, having to be an adult, and anything, and it's just like drift until you all leave each other when you're like, right, see you all on the weekend or whatever. When you're driven back from it, and it's like that's fucking great. It's just so much fun because it's just you forget all of your bullshit, don't you? And you just care about drifting, and that's it.
Exactly.
And it's fun, isn't it? That's the main thing. No stress, no hassle, just fun. just hassle when you lose a wheel off your trailer.
Or your car.
Yeah,
wheel?
what are you about?
What
You
wheel?
lost the wheel off your car, you lost the wheel off your trailer.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. Fair's fair.
Well,
Hey, at least we didn't lose a fucking prop.
Ooh.
On the dyno.
Yeah, the day before.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Did you hear about that?
No?
Prop shaft on the dyno, just tabled the car. My prop shaft decided to delete. Went through, basically cut my car in half on the dyno. About 130 miles an hour, I think it was that.
So, yeah.
That's one of the scariest things that I was always
That was-
worried about.
Literally the day before, no, is it the night before we were leaving for Driftland? Or was it 2 days before? I think it was.
2 days before, yeah.
You went up there and spent hours welding it all back together. I ran around the country picking up bits for you.
Yeah, well, because I think what we thought had happened was because there was a big crack around the gearbox, and in theory, if the prop snapped, it was nowhere near the gearbox. It was just doing that, but there was a massive crack down the gearbox, and I think the gearbox just decided to not be a gearbox anymore, and just literally crunched the gears up, stopped the gears, and the prop kept spinning, and that's why I think it snapped and just literally nearly cut the car in half. So they call me propeller now.
Propeller full.
Yeah.
So,
With all their accents though, we
Yeah.
nearly took the tuner's leg off. That bad, yeah.
Scary times.
move on.
Yes.
Yeah, do you know what? I never thought about it or worried about it, but do you know how often I check my prop bolts now?
Still not often because you're too stupid.
I do. I put it on the ramp and check it a lot now because I've seen the
Why-
state of your
why you
car.
should
It
have a dry shaft
genuinely, I've actually thought about making one.
Yeah.
I think
honestly,
that should be inputted.
I never even crossed my mind until I saw the state of your car, and it did genuinely make me think, fuck.
Drift League do advise that you have one actually.
I think I'm going to make one, to be fair.
One at the front.
Scary.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. But then you even get like a transit as in by standard.
That's
transit.
the transit one's more to stop from hitting the ground and flipping the
Yeah,
van.
fair enough.
Yeah, it's not.
I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, that's
I've seen
scary.
that. That's scary. What we got next on the list?
Ah.
Favourite car and drivers?
Go on.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, I mean,
You're the guest.
Yeah, maybe. I think
Right,
everyone's bored
so
of
I've
listening
made a
to us.
list of some favourite cars and drivers for various reasons, right? One of them we've already mentioned, Kuba Kozlowski. Right? As a driver, he's such a humble guy as well. I mean, he hates being on the microphone, hates being anywhere near cameras or anything like that. But every single time you see that guy drive, you're like, holy shit, you can
awesome.
drive.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Aggressive, just knows where to put that car all the
He
time.
never does any, like, I always find with him, he's aggressive, but never gets it wrong.
No.
Still very calculated.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
how did you pull that off and
Yeah.
not plough straight into the side of them? Like,
Yeah.
fair fucking play. Like, every time.
And I think if he keeps going the way he is, I think he could be one to watch in the future. I
Definitely.
think if he gets the funding behind him and stuff like that, I think he's going to definitely go far. You know,
You heard it here first.
yeah. And I want any
Royalties
as well. All right, but yeah, absolutely love the bloke. He's a great bloke, and you know, every single time he messages me saying, "You commentating this? You commentating that?" You know, he's just such a sound guy as well as a decent driver. So it's been great seeing him come through the ranks. You know, because he came from our championship at Autofest.
Yeah, that's
And he's
where
gone
I
up
first,
through it.
like, heard him.
You know, Class 2 in Drift League, and then he's gone all the way up, and you just go, fair play. It feels like my child almost. It feels like I've made him. And but fair play to him. Then I've got some local drivers, I suppose. It wouldn't be a drifting conversation without Ryan Hughes, really, would it?
Of course.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Ryan Hughes, I mean,
Fucking
just an animal. Yes, he's got the car, but
Yeah,
really, he came from nowhere.
But you have to be. You can't just jump in that car and do what he does.
No.
Like not anyone can just jump in it and be like, it is savage, and he is savage.
Yeah, but you look at his 14, when he first brought out his 14, he came from nowhere really, and it was already quite clear that he is a decent driver, and he's just progressing. No matter what car he gets in, he's just an animal every
savage,
time.
Yeah. The word like savage is the only word I can really think about for him. Like,
And you know, he's doing well at the moment. You know, he's been over to Ireland a few times this year, and
he's had some good results as well. Hasn't
yeah,
he?
he's had some good results. You know, when he went over to Ireland last year and did the Tully Rowan thing and come second in that, and and then you just look at his cars and you just think, dreamy.
Yeah.
You know, when I look at his 14 and I'm like, I could dream about 14. He's like, it's my practice bash car, innit? And I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
Right.
come on.
It's
Honestly, come on.
2.2, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know,
2.2.
yeah, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I love that motor.
Yeah.
Noise it makes as well.
And wasn't it at one point like the most powerful SR in the country?
Yeah, I think it still is.
Oh, is
I
it?
think it still is.
Yeah,
It's just
brutal.
It's mega, yeah. It's
absolutely mega. You know, and that's what I wanted my 14 to be, but didn't have the budget for, so we'll leave it at that. But yeah, you look at his GT86, you know, and I remember actually him turning up to Autofest, and he turned up and he said, "I'm going to try these tyres." They were 315s.
Right.
And I was like, fucking hell. And he went out at Autofest on the 315s and destroys them. He goes, actually, it went quite well. I might use these again. And now he's one of them again and he uses them at Castle Coombe and stuff like that. 315s on the back of that thing.
Fuck.
It's
Jesus.
just serious.
But it is literally like the definition of making clouds, isn't it? That car is literally. I remember going around Autofest, and I was like, I think I was like in the passenger rides bit, and like literally I could barely see anything from the smoke of just riding.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell, that thing is just another level. How was he even making it around? Like, you probably can't see anything. Like, it's insane.
You watch the videos from this week that Drift Missouri just gone.
Yeah.
And watch him doing the night drifting, and he can't see. Cool, absolutely. But there's him and Ollie Evans just so close to each other. I'm just like, fair play, absolute fair play, you know. And he's real humble. Again, another guy. I like people that are humble about it, real humble about it. But then he'd be there fixing everyone else's car.
Yeah. On his birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, just turned up like, I'll fix it in a minute, mate. And I was like, oh, no, that's all right. No, don't. And he's like, no, just 2 secs. And come over, plug the laptop in, straight on the phone to Martin. Like, yeah, cool, all sorted, mate. Thank you.
Yeah.
like, why are you being nice to me? Yeah. Thank you for fixing my car on your birthday. Like, awesome guy, yeah.
Absolutely. Matt Smith.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we mentioned Matt Smith on every single podcast. He's like my idol.
Yeah.
He's like my friend but idol at the same time.
Yeah, you gotta love the bloke, can't you?
Yeah.
I've been friends with Matt for years and years and years, and you just don't expect anything less from Matt, do you?
No.
You know, you look at his 36 and you're like, you're a decent driver in the 36. He brought out that 46 and you're like, wow, that's a hell of a car.
Yeah.
And it's very clean.
Yeah.
And it's very well built and everything like that. And then out of nowhere, he turns up this PS13 and you're like, oh shit, where did this come from? And, you know, he's got to grips with that car, you know, and for me, he's been one of the drivers that was always very, very consistent. He was always the Mr. Consistency. Yeah. But now he's starting to step it up and he's starting to do really well now. And I think now that he's got the machine behind him, I think he's...
And the confidence in it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. He seems to... I don't know, I always just call him the professor, because he was like so mathematical about everything. Like, he could tell me the mathematics of everything about anything on the car.
He still is.
Yeah, I know, but like, his drifting was almost like it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he got that PS, and it's just kind of like, limiter.
Crazy man.
Let's have it. Like, and it's just like, you fucking mad, man. Where did that come from? And it's just literally like, it's fucking epic. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I seen him at Silverstone in the last thing, and he was like, I went and spoke to him after the first session. I said, how you got on? He said, yeah, pretty good. He said, I need to change my gearing. And he literally got his paper out. Yeah. And he's got all the gear ratios down, and he's like, right, so if I put this one in, it's going to get me that miles an hour, it's going to get me 10 more miles an hour. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And he literally spent, God knows how long, just working it all out. And he's like, yep, that's what I'm going for. He's just so precise with absolutely everything. I mean, you look at his workshop, and you only have to see, it's a lovely workshop. And he's just,
It's like setting up the car. I don't even bother taking it anywhere else. No. I just go to Matt and I go, there you go. He's like, what do you want? And I was like, whatever you want. Like, exactly. Just make it work. And again, in there, I'm like, holy fuck, this is amazing. Yeah.
Matt, now that I've said some nice things about you, will you sell me the 46, please? I've questioned him many times.
What, on buying the 46?
On buying the 46, and he won't sell me the 46.
I don't think he'll ever sell any of them.
No, I don't think he will.
I think we're not allowed to talk about that on camera, because I think he's meant to sell a couple of them. That was the deal with getting the PS. And so far, he hasn't sold any of them.
Is this wife that's telling him off now?
I don't think we should continue with the conversation about it.
Maybe you should private message his wife.
Maybe.
Do you know he's still got them?
I'll tell you what, I've got 500 quid for the white one.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll come to your house and give it to you right now.
Imagine.
What else we got then? As far as cars go, I look at some of the likes of Richard Gilbey's Sil 80.
Insane.
Yeah.
Just
what a weapon.
Gorgeous and just epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9,000 RPM. No, is it even higher than that now? I can't remember what it is. Is it 9 grand?
It's about that. 1JZ just screams.
Mental.
I mean, so what you wouldn't have seen is Castle Coombe at the weekend. Obviously, it was the last event of the year. So all the drivers towards the end of the day were just going for it.
Full
They got
on,
no
yeah.
need to do anything else with the car.
Yeah.
So Gilby went out and he was just like, do you know what? I'm going to give it everything. I was like, well, you give it everything every single time. He said, nah, watch this. And he came back in and he was flat chat constantly, right? He came back in, the car was so hot, right? Not the temperature, right? Like, coolant temperature or anything like that. Just the whole car was so hot, it melted all the paint in his engine bay from the exhaust. Literally, it was smoking. He lifted up the bonnet and he said, that's why I do it. And I was just like, holy shit. It was just that came in, and even from the pits, he's done a cool down lap. He's come into the pits on a cool down lap. He's opened the bonnet, still glowing red hot, see through. I'm like, shit. And yeah.
He's also such a fucking top bloke.
Absolutely.
The first time I met Richie was actually at Coombe, and I was stressing out 'cause the car would work. I couldn't use third and fourth. It was just valve floating, and I was like, this is just stupid. And he was like, what? Just chill out. Just relax. Just go and have fun. And I was like, oh. And then he kind of told me the lines of it. It was just super nice, and I was like, that's amazing, and that helped a lot. Like, yeah, top bloke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Epic car. Just
Epic car.
Awesome fucking car.
Yeah.
I remember watching this fucking boot come flying off. With like, when was that? That was when you were doing it, I think. That was a couple of years ago when you first did Coombe. And Gilby come down the straight, didn't he?
And it went about 40 foot in the air. Just caught air.
Fucking hell, like, it was keen, that was.
Absolutely. And that's the only guy that I know that's put a wing on the back of the car and has noticed a difference from it. From the speed he's doing, he said, if I don't have that wing on the back, he said, I can't control it at that speed.
No way.
He said, and that's just it.
Mental.
But yeah, all that air that went under that boot and just snapped all the fiberglass and just went 40 foot in the air.
Yeah,
and just,
literally.
Yeah. Good old Dickie. That's what I call him now.
Dickie?
Yeah, you got to call him Dickie now.
Okay.
So he went over to Germany for...
what's it called?
Iron Drift King.
Iron Drift King. Yeah. And obviously the commentator was there from Formula Drift.
Yeah.
And he was like commentating, they obviously said, and it was Mike Walton as well. And he said, this is Richard Gilby. And he said, Richie, what's that short for? It's like, Richard? And he said, no, it's Richie. Well, let's just call him Dickie. So they called him Dickie all the way through the live stream, right?
Yeah,
all the way through. That. And then right at the end, and then after it's all done, there's a video of the commentator walking over to Richard Gilby's thing. And Gilby comes out. He's a big bloke, right? You don't want to cross him. And he comes out, who the fuck are you calling Dickie? And the commentator bloke goes, oh! And he goes, come here, give me a hug. And he was just like Dickie Gilby, and it was just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah, he loves being called that now, so if you see him, call him Dickie.
Dickie, how's it going?
Right, got some international people now. Laurie Hyndman, S13, in Drift Masters. The sound of that thing makes me cream every time. Every time.
It's fucking next level, isn't it?
Just, yeah, absolutely. I just hear that thing and it just resonates, and I'm just like, oh, I need that in my life.
Have you ever heard it? You ever heard it in real life?
Yeah.
Have you? I've not heard it in real life. I can imagine it's
ear piercing. It is absolutely ear piercing, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, do with
I want it so bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't get noise regs over here though. You wouldn't get anywhere near that. But yeah, absolutely, just
killed it now, hasn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, killed the motor in Poland. Last round.
Over the finish line.
Oh fuck! Oh, I suppose that's where you're going to do it. It's probably the best
yeah,
place, isn't it?
Literally over the finish line, killed it. And then I watch quite a lot of YouTubers, and like Jimmy Oakes, for example. He's over there building stuff, and he's building all sorts of stuff at the moment. He's got a PS13 at the moment, and it's that maroon colour that used to get the 14s. You know that standard maroon colour.
Yeah.
And he's painted that PS13 and it's just so it just looks beautiful. All the Japanese graphics up it. Yeah, if I was to do a PS13, that's exactly how I would.
That's
do
when
it.
you would want it.
Yeah. But those are just some of my favourite car and drivers. But if you want to switch things up a bit, we'll look at some different cars, and I thought we could discuss cars that are not meant to be drifted, but are being drifted, that are fucking cool.
Go on.
Right? We'll take Jamie Briggs first of all.
Oh yeah, fucking
Mark 1 Golf CL.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't just drift it. He fucking drifts the shit out of it competitively all the time. It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
And it looks so weird.
Yeah.
Going round.
It does look weird. It looks weird when you see it with someone like Martin Monaco.
Yeah.
Because you've got like the biggest fucking car in the world, then a tiny little Golf just disappears. And then just pops out of nowhere. It's like, fucking hell, fair play.
I just can't see how something so short wheelbase can drift so well. It's obviously the driver.
Yeah.
I don't reckon any of us could. I don't reckon I could get in that car and be able to drift it.
It's 4 inches longer than an MX-5. Wheelbase.
Is it actually?
Yep. But because it's a hatchback,
It looks.
it looks shorter.
Okay.
But
I
actually,
never
It's
would've-
probably
never
not
would've
actually
done.
that much shorter than an S body.
Yeah, because you reckon an S body's shorter than a Beamer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's probably just deceptive then,
facts.
maybe. Like
It
you
is
say,
deceptive.
It's just deceptive.
Exactly. And that's one of the first things that he told me. And I was like, oh, I didn't
Do you
know
know, I'd
that.
love to have a proper look around that car. I've never seen it properly in the flesh.
I've never seen it in the flesh. No.
Yeah, I'd love to have a proper look at it.
It's-
I bet it's
yeah,
awesome.
it is
I know
absolutely
what Jamie's,
awesome.
Jamie's like. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Wicked car, wicked driver. And we had a guy at Castle Combe at the weekend for Halloween Action Day. And he said, right, I'm going to follow Jamie in because it's a lower powered car, like compared to the 1,000 horsepowers that are there. And he said, I'm going to follow him in. He said, come back in. He's like, that was a wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
He said, that Golf is fast.
Yeah.
He said,
I've heard a few people say that Golf is fucking insanely fast. Like you 15s and what, I don't know what power it makes. Is it like 400?
yeah, it's about 400, something like that.
And they're like,
That's right.
it is not a fucking slow car to chase.
No.
It is fucking insane, as well. A lot of people have said. Like, Alex said it to me, little Alex Williams. He said about chasing him. He said he just literally just disappeared. He said I couldn't even consider getting near him.
Yeah.
He's just gone. I was like, yeah.
I mean, I've talked to him about it, and I said about the setup and everything like that. He goes, I don't know what setup's on it. He said, I just sort of done whatever. He said,
it
it
works.
seems to work, He said, I haven't got any idea about squat or anything like that, compression and, rebound and everything like that. He said, I've just set it up and it seems to just work.
God, imagine if you gave it to Matt.
Yeah,
Matt
but
set
it might
this
ruin
up.
it for him.
Yeah,
though.
true,
It
yeah.
might ruin it for him because you can. I've always said you can drive a shit car. If you drive that shit car for a whole year, I guarantee you'll be good in that shit car.
Yeah, driving around problems. is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
I'm not saying that it has problems.
No,
but just imagine
What
like,
I'm saying, you could literally drive. It's like driving someone else's car, isn't it?
yeah.
It's different to yours, but if you drive it for a whole year, it's going to be easy to drive, isn't it?
I don't know. Your car's fucking easy to drive. To be fair, I reckon if I could move the seat forward in your car, I could probably drive your car better than mine straight out the box.
Well, that's why you
Short
can't
people
see
problems.
Short people problems indeed.
Yeah.
I've made a little pedal on my clutch so I can sit further back, but it brings my clutch out further. So I
You
can.
ever seen the film Ted, where he drives the got the pedal extensions? That's him.
Pretty much that, yeah. Just on the clutch, no. The rest of it's okay.
You got a longer left foot or something?
Well, no, because you've got to put the clutch all the way down, the throttle, and like
I
you can
suppose
pretty
so, yeah.
much do it with your toe, can't you? Whereas pushing it down. Anyway, let's not talk about my foot, my
shit,
pedal extensions.
What other cars can we think about in the UK? I've got one more that I wanted to mention, but I want to see what you guys... Unusual cars, or even in the world, unusual cars that are drifted, but...
Well, the
wouldn't
Land
usually-
Rover that was at Missouri was pretty
That was
fucking.
another one.
It was
Insane.
pretty special to see. To
Fucking
be
cool.
fair, it's like,
I was well impressed.
what the fuck is going on there? That
Jack
was
Payton,
crazy.
yeah, Jack Payton, he builds some crazy stuff, and that is
What-
something
what
else.
the
It's
fuck platform is
LS3
it?
and a transit
Is that what it
axle.
is?
Yeah, transit rear axle, LS3 motor.
Yeah,
What chassis? What
I think
chassis
it's
is it?
BMW front suspension.
yeah.
Is it still on the Land
Yeah.
Rover chassis?
Yeah.
You just wouldn't think it would fucking work.
You think it'd roll over, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just
It works.
Yeah, but
It works
those
really
boys
well.
out there, they make anything work. So they've got the Escort van as well,
Yeah,
that you see
yeah,
around and
yeah.
everything like that, and they just make anything work. And
see the van I can kind of get, but seeing a fucking Defender going full blown sideways at angle seat, it's like.
yeah,
oh,
It
what
does
the
look
fuck?
cool though, doesn't
It does look
It
pretty
does.
cool.
I
yeah.
hate Land Rovers, but
Yeah,
that is the
that's
coolest
only-
Land Rover
yeah.
I've ever
It's
seen.
because it's got the big wheels on it still
Yeah.
and shit. It's like they've
see
kept
it.
it looking
Yeah.
like a Defender.
You can
It's-
actually see it squatted
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
it looks like a beast to try and handle though. But
Oh,
it won
yeah.
car of the show, did it? One car,
Did it?
yeah,
Oh,
one best
I'm not
car.
surprised, to
actually.
be fair. The amount of fabrication and time that must have gone into that must be nuts, really.
Yeah. What else we
That's
got?
proper right out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the, like, I think that beats the Golf a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Well,
yeah. I mean, fucking that Defender for fuck's sake! Like, of anything you can think of, why a Defender? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. What else have we got? What are the cars in the UK or you can think about?
Oh yeah, Phil Randalls. You
Yeah.
don't really see him so much anymore.
No. B2500
Rotary.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. in
That's
the
a cool
Mazda.
car.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was cool. Cool sounds. Very difficult to drive.
Do you know he hates, am I allowed to say this?
Are you going to tell me you hate rotaries?
No, fucking love rotaries. I think they're awesome. I think they're the best sounding thing when they're idling. A rotary on full chat in real life, I fucking hate it. It's the most annoying. It's the most annoying high pitched fucking noise that you can ever hear.
Is it fuck?
I would
It's one of
rather
the
listen
best
to
sounding noises in
I
the
would
world.
rather listen to a straight pipe BMW.
Ugh, everyone wants to listen to a straight pipe.
He's broken.
I suddenly regret coming on this podcast.
It's only on like we're talking like right up at the very top of the rev limit on full fucking chat, and it's just so. You ever been there in real life and like obviously you probably have. And it's just so annoying. It hurts your ears, and it's like, oh, shut the fuck up, you whiny twat.
That's how I feel about
What's
you
wrong
right
with
now.
you? What's wrong with you, mate?
It's broken.
It is.
Fucking broken.
They say you don't like things that you don't like about yourself, so maybe that's it, because it's like a whiny fucking noise. Maybe that's why I don't like it, because it's like me.
Like a 20B at like 10,000 RPM. Just...
How do you not
What
it?
was it James Dean's at
Four rotor.
yeah, when he had it at the show just gone. Was it Gravity?
Yeah, Gravity, yeah.
I watched the videos of it and I'm like, oh mate, just fucking turn it off.
You're a dick. Just turn the fucking telly
I
off.
hate it.
Yeah.
Just go.
I just mute
like,
it.
go.
I love an RX-7, my favourite car ever. I've got one. I like literally fucking love them. I love them more than anything. An idling rotary and the idea of a rotary, I fucking love. Full on the limiter, I hate it.
I didn't think we were getting into unpopular opinions till later on.
Well, he looked at me, so I thought I'd best say
you
it.
mentioned the noise, and I was like, oh, am I allowed to say this out loud? It should be a secret, but yeah, go have a bath with a toaster, mate.
Live, laugh, toast. Sorry. I'll tell you one thing though, after I mentioned about the 15s, I've seen so many more, people have sent me so many, unpopular opinion, I don't like the front of an S15. I think it looks like a dog with his face is being squished back. It looks like they tried to make a car something it's not. And more and more people have sent me them. And I mentioned it before, Dave Egan's yellow one. Mm-hmm. Oh my fucking god, that car is beautiful from every angle. I don't know if it's the colour, the wheel, everything. And the more I'm looking at them, the more I actually quite like them now. I've actually come around to the S15 front end.
You're just sick of getting abused on
no,
the internet.
I haven't been abused. No one's actually said like, oh, you fucking wrong. People are like, what about this one? What about this one? And I'm like, actually, the more I don't know if it's just because I'm looking at so many more of them now, I'm just getting used to it. And I'm like, actually, I quite like it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that unpopular opinion is starting to change a little bit.
I still hate a Mark IV Supra.
Yeah, everyone hates a Mark IV Supra.
Apparently.
I've not seen so many. So his unpopular opinion was that he hates a Mark IV Supra. He thinks it's overrated. We all rate the engines, but an actual Supra itself, he hates them. And I have nothing but messages going, I couldn't agree more with Paul. And like, no one actually said, I love the Supra. Not one person said you're wrong. Everyone agreed.
Yeah.
I love the Supra.
The Mark IV.
Mark IV, yeah.
I love a Mark IV Supra.
Okay. There has to be
everything.
There has to be people out there that like them. That's hence why they're so expensive.
Yeah, of course. But it's iconic, like.
Yeah.
And there's none of them around.
It was the one car when I was 16, and I sat in that driver's seat, and I was like, oh.
Oh, a spaceship.
Yeah.
Oh, look at these
the
all
dash
these buttons
comes
from the
round,
80s.
and it literally was just like, oh, I love this.
That's what I felt with the RX-7.
Yeah,
First time I ever sat in an RX-7, I was like, the shape of it, it was even the shape of the roof.
Yeah.
It kind of everything about that car, I couldn't believe when I first saw one. And then when I sat in one for the first time, and I was like, this is just amazing. And then I heard it on full chat, and I was like, brother, it is.
I think the Supra, though, is one of those cars that it is, from the outside, is a love-hate thing. It is one of those things where you can't do anything to the outside of them to really make them massively better. No. You've just got to leave them as they are and just appreciate them for what they are.
See, I think the reason why they're so expensive is because everyone's robbed the engines out of them.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they're expensive. Not because everyone wants them.
Yeah.
It's because there's fuck all left. Because everyone like, well, they're fuck ugly, but that engine is amazing. I'll have the engine and fuck the Supra off, scrap it as shit.
I wouldn't go that far. It's not even the fact that I hate it or detest it. I think it's vile. It's not like that. It's what they cost for what you get. And bearing in mind, I think it's about S chassis as well. They're fucking way overpriced.
Yeah, 100%.
And I own one.
Yeah.
But the Supra just seems to be. I mean, if you were to get a 2J manual now, Supra, what would that cost? Over 50k.
It's gonna be. Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
For not a lot of car.
Yeah.
You're buying the engine, aren't you?
You buy well, no, because if you're paying that sort of money for it, you're buying the car,
yeah,
aren't you? Because you obviously like a Supra. I think it's just way overpriced for what they are. They're nothing special. They're not even good for anything. They're not good drift cars, are they? How many people? There's been. I think I've ever seen 2 actually drifted.
Who's that?
Properly, I couldn't tell you who drove them. I know there was one years ago, 1,000 horsepower thing, wasn't it?
We'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah. And there was a grey one that done foundation at BDC with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only 2 I've ever seen drifted. And
isn't that his road car as well? Didn't he drive it there?
I think he drove it there, yeah.
Legend. Mental, but legend.
So I'm assuming that they're not very good drift cars, or they're too expensive to drift, but then people are drifting more expensive cars, aren't they? So
Mm.
Chasers, for example, and PSs. Well, PS ain't more expensive, but yeah, I just think they're way overrated for what they are. That's my opinion.
And most of the internet who could be bothered to comment seem to agree. To be fair.
Yeah, they really have. Not one single person's.
I can see why. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's an unpopular opinion. I think that is
An opinion.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a rotary on full chat sounding terrible seems like a very unpopular
That's
opinion.
very unpopular.
I'm not looking forward to this video coming out. I'm glad it's
You're
long, so
gonna get
hopefully
some
people won't
shit
make it
for
this long.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. For anyone ever moan about the noise of a rotary.
It's just annoying. It's
Stop
so
making
loud.
excuses.
The
It's
fact
so
that you
loud.
said that you'd rather hear a straight pipe BMW
Yeah.
is just.
Oh, maybe I was
That's what they just sound like.
Maybe I was over-exaggerating.
You go to Dakota Drift and that's all you hear all day and you're like, oh, shut the fuck up with you.
I think what bothers... I think what did it is... The first time I heard it in real life, I was in a bit of a grumpy mood. Everything was going wrong. I was trying to talk to someone and I couldn't because this stupid fucking thing was going... Oh, fuck off. And I think it stemmed from that.
Basically, you're traumatised.
It's traumatised me, yeah.
PTSD.
Because it
It was
wouldn't
just
let
too
you talk.
fucking loud.
Because it wouldn't let you talk.
And we know how much I like to talk.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I was already grumpy, and when I'm already grumpy, there's not a lot to really just top it up. And maybe it's just stuck with me forever. You know. I blame it on my dad. I got daddy issues, so that's what I do.
It's alright, we'll get you some RX-7 therapy, alright?
Awesome, yeah.
We'll send you to
Love
therapy.
RX-7. It's very
We
powerful.
just send him limiter bashing
Oh.
rotaries, please.
It'll be fine. I'll just mute it. It's alright. I can just look at the car and be like, yeah.
Okay. That is my favourite part. Is it called ported?
Yeah,
When
that's
they
when they
ported
port it,
and they just idle like that. That's my favourite part.
Bridgeport and
Yeah.
everything like that. Yeah, just. Oh.
I feel like we've gone off topic.
We always go off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's,
Although we've done really well
we
up till
have done
now.
really, I think it's because we've had like a more of a professional person with us.
He's
He's
definitely
kept it
more
on
professional.
track. He's kept it on track, you know?
Yeah.
Other cars that have been used in the UK for drifting or around the world. You got the old Volvos. Remember Huxley's old Volvo and stuff
Yeah.
like that? That was
Yeah.
cool back in the day.
Diesel Mercs.
Diesel Mercs.
Yeah, Black Smoke
Yeah.
Racing. Is it?
Yeah, Black Smoke Racing.
I remember you showed me them about 4 years ago. Like, check these out because we were talking about the OM606.
Yeah.
And you look at these bad boys. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
It's the video they put up last year and they've managed to get anti-lag for a diesel. They managed to do anti-lag on a diesel and it's just like, that is cool.
Yes.
Have you seen their new one that they've just built?
Can't say I have.
They've just built a new one. I can't tell you what engine it is. It's another Mercedes engine, but it sounds the nuts. Just go check it out on YouTube. It doesn't sound diesel at all. It sounds like an absolute screamer.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
just diesel and you're like, this is cool. Full carbon body, the full works. It's such a cool car. But yeah, they do bring some pretty cool stuff out of there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. There hasn't really been any other weird and wonderful cars really. People
yeah,
have
Rusty.
tried. Rusty, yeah.
He used to bring out some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, what did he have? What was it? The Cadet? Was it the first one with the CA in it? Was it Cadet? What did he have? The little grey one with the
He's
CA.
got an Escort now, hasn't he?
He's got an Escort van now with
Yeah.
a 2J in
Yeah,
it.
the full popular.
Pop on it, yeah, not Cadet. It was a Pop, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, Cadet's a Vauxhall, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, the
You know
pop,
your cars,
and
don't
then
you? Nothing.
and then he had his unfortunate incident at Castle Combe, and now he's back out in a PS.
Is he?
Have you not seen this?
No.
Didn't know
Rusty
that.
has a PS, so
Did not know that.
smashed it up at Combe on Summer Action Day, Forge Action Day. Yeah, smashed it up big time.
Did not know that.
Struts went through like bulk to bulkhead, big time. That was the
Did not know
the
that.
Escort gone, and what he only got that car ready for Missouri and was using Combe as like a shakedown day.
Oh no.
But yeah, missed the pillow barriers by about 3 foot,
Oh.
and unfortunately ruined the car. So still wanted to go to Missouri, and now he's just built a PS. So he's got a brand new PS that he's just built
Wow.
and took it
Oh,
out
I'll
of
have to check
Missouri.
that out.
But
Yeah.
that's going to be a weapon.
Yeah,
as
that's-
well.
Yeah.
He's good,
Yeah,
isn't he?
he'll be
Good at what
fucking
he does.
awesome.
Yeah, so
Has he put a 2J in it then, is he?
I don't know what's in it. I've only just seen a photo of it from on Definitive's Facebook page,
Right.
and it looks wicked.
Yeah, I bet.
It looks
I bet
wicked.
it'll be fucking hella cool car.
Yeah, but rumour has it that Escort is coming back out
Is it?
under a new owner. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if I can tell you who the new owner is, whether it's been released yet or not.
Tell us off camera.
Okay, I'll say it.
Yeah, we
Get all the
we
goss.
won't tell you.
No.
It's a secret. It's a secret.
Yeah, I thought switch things up a bit, and we could do Champion of Champions.
Go on.
Right? Now, you don't know what this is. This is just something that I sort of came up with, and I thought we could do it all together. Well, you guys could do it, right? We'll have a little game of Champion of Champions, right?
I'll lose.
So, this is the UK Drift edition of Champion of Champions, alright? All the drivers, I'm about to say, either originate in the UK or reside in the UK currently, alright? We're going to go around, and I'm going to give you two names, alright? I'm going to start with you, I'm going to give you two names, and you're going to tell me who is the better champion out of the two of them, alright? In your opinion. The winner of that will then move on, and I'll give you the name with another person, and then we'll go around.
Oh, no.
And by the end of it, whoever's finished at the end, that is the best champion of champions, the best drifter in the UK.
I feel like this is going to get us a lot of hate.
As long as I know who you're talking about,
Yeah.
I'm not very good with names.
Okay, we'll start off, right? Now, I've just picked some random names from over the years, alright?
On the spot.
The first one is Martin Wonnacott. Okay?
Yep.
We all know Martin Wonnacott, unfortunately. Alright? But then I'm going to mix it up with Ollie Evans. Ollie Evans.
That's hard. That's
Martin Wonnacott or Ollie Evans? Who is your bigger
It's the hunker
champion?
down, like, oh, no.
Are you going to say the person that's going to bump into you now and again?
Oh, yeah, Martin. I don't know. I could be completely wrong on this. I feel that Ollie Evans is probably one more, maybe.
He's been over the
Yeah,
Drift
he's
Masters.
He's teammate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's been over Drift Masters.
Has he got a car anymore, though?
He does.
Does he?
He does.
What
He was
car?
at Missouri.
What car's he got?
No.
Another 15.
No. That's gone
He sold it.
to Alex Williams.
He had two.
Oh.
Fucking didn't know that.
Well, they look the same. They look identical.
Fairly
Okay.
identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
No, I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, off topic, carry on.
Yeah. So what am I meant to be picking, one or the other?
Yeah. Who is your
What-
bigger champion?
Your
Who
bigger
is?
champion.
We need to get to the end of who is the
Um,
best driver within the UK. There's probably a load more names that I've forgotten about, but
I mean, unfortunately, Martin, I think it's going to be Ollie Evans.
Okay.
Although, I love the fact that Martin drives that chaser.
yeah.
But then it is in the UK. Oliver Evans doesn't really do much in the UK.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I've got some old school names as well in this, so it's a generalised. Who is the best drifter in the UK out of all of this?
So, yeah.
Gonna say Ollie Evans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Right. Hopefully you know all these people.
Yeah.
So we've got Ollie Evans,
Yeah.
or we've got Matthew Steele, Mitto.
Mito. Oh, I see, an SR guy.
Mhm.
So,
And he's a real nice guy as well.
he's a top guy. I only met him once at PDC, and he was really sound. And I love this fucking paint job as well. Does that count? Like, can I like him better because he's an SR?
No, take the SR out of it.
Oh, what?
Although it's God's motor,
It
right?
is
And I
God's
will
motor.
say that, and I
Yeah.
tell everyone that at Council Coombs, God's motor,
It is God's
absolute
motor.
God's motor. Not God's gearboxes, all right? For any of the
Is
Garage
this-
500 lot, you know what I mean by that.
I feel like Oliver Evans has had more success
Yes.
than Mito.
Yeah. So obviously Mitto's been around for what feels like
years,
donkeys,
like
years.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I know even like back on, if you go onto like Driftworks and you look at alignment stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it all goes back to Mito's alignment. And he'll be like, this is how you set up for Japanese, this is how you set up for UK, this is how you set up. It's like, fucking hell, fair play. Like, but I do feel like Oliver Evans, as a competition driver, has done better.
Next. Ollie Evans then. Or Stefan Stefanov.
Stefan Stefanov.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Easy.
I do like
I would
that.
agree with that,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah. Lovely bloke as well.
Yeah.
Such a sound bloke and yeah, drives the things off that. Yeah.
I've
That's
never
great.
seen a guy that just pushes a car hard every single time he's in the driver's seat.
When
Like,
we
there's
talk-
some drivers out there that just take it a bit easy now and again. I've never, ever
He's
seen him take it
90
easy.
degrees, smoke pouring off.
Everywhere.
Definitely. Right. So Stefan Stefanov is currently in the lead. So we move to Stefan Stefanov or Phil Morrison from Driftworks.
Stefanov. It's got to be.
Cool. Straight in there.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a hard one.
No, I kind of agree as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No questions asked. Okay. Stefan Stefanov then.
Yeah.
Or Julian Smith, Garage D.
I've never really seen him drive.
No.
Not really.
So he's one that's been around.
Julian. I know Julian, and I know he's been around for years. I know he's obviously got Garage D and stuff, but I can't say I can picture him driving, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go Stefanov because he's just fucking awesome.
Okay, I think I know the answer to the next one. Stefan Stefanov then, or Hayden Cruikshank?
Yeah, so Hayden, like, he's a good driver. His car's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. But as a driver, it's still Stefan, I'm afraid.
Cool, he's doing well.
Yeah.
Are you sponsored by like Dream Car Giveaways or something? You've got to say Stefan.
You know, we've never even really spoke about this before either.
We've never done it.
I don't think we've ever spoken about Stefan before. We've all got our own opinions, obviously, but it seems like we're all kind of on the same page with it.
But he's still drifting now, even from, I know like Martin Monacott is and all that, from the BDC days up till now to Drift Lake, he's still doing it. There's a lot of people like
Backing out a bit,
backing out like, hey, I've not seen him drift.
He's done Drift Pro.
He's done Drift Pro, yeah. But I don't really watch Drift Pro. Like,
It's because there's no live stream at all for it, so I don't think.
there's something.
Is there a live stream for it?
No,
I don't think so. I've seen a few clips and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Right. So we're going Stefan Stefanov or Matt Carter from back in the days of BDC. And D-Mech and whatever else he's done.
I'm still going to go Stefanov.
Wow.
Oh God. Go on.
Right. I'm going to try and chuck some in there that might swing it out. Stefan Stefanov.
Yeah.
Martin Richards.
I still think that's easy.
Right, so when I'm literally in my mind now, I'm watching them both drive, right? And yeah, Stefanov.
No way.
I agree. I actually agree.
I watched watching. I can see both their lines on the same track, and as much as I love that Skyline, and he is like a legend of the sport.
Outstanding, yeah, he's brilliant.
I still think Stefanov's doing stuff in cars which I don't think I'm seeing anyone else do. The angle and the speed, he can carry that angle. I followed him at RDC when I was having a fucking terrible day, and being in that car and seeing this car, basically, it was almost crabbing 90 degrees with smoke pouring off it, and how fast I was just like, that doesn't seem possible. Like, so seeing the line in my head of what I've seen Stefanov been able to do, and I've seen it like, in the flesh, and then watching the same line with another very amazing, precise driver, I still think for me it'd be Stefan.
Interesting.
I feel like you should.
Is he going to beat anyone?
I think you peaked when he said
He's peaked too early. Story of my life, mate. Stefan Stefanov, Louis Edwardson.
That's actually a really good one.
Louis
Louis throws a lot of angle as well.
Yeah.
A lot of angle, a lot of speed.
Wins MSUK Drift Pro this year.
Yeah.
Goes to compete for GB.
I'm going to go with Louis.
You just feel like you should, don't you?
No, genuine. Louis Edwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Louis Edwards or the crazy Matt Denham. Matt Denham used to drive Jap Speed, now pilots that S13, does...
I remember Matt Denham at Driftland.
Yeah.
Snapped his fucking strut off, got out of the car and started sweeping the track.
Yep.
Who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
Like, dude, what? And he's like, I'll fix it, don't worry about it, give me the brush, let's get it going. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think I'm going to have to go with Louis. Just because.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
Okay. Final on list. Then Louis Edwards or Bagsy. Oh.
Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, you should go back to
I should do really.
Bagsy's recent game.
This is the problem. What year Bagsy are we talking? Are we talking old school Bagsy, middle time Bagsy, or
overall?
now?
Overall Bagsy. Bagsy now, I would think, is definitely his best.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, when he put the LS in that 13 for the first time over in Dubai, and went out and just absolutely dominated everyone from qualifying straight through. I was like, this is it now. He's going to take over everything. And nothing really materialised from it that much. Like, he never stuck with a championship, I felt, and he just played with problems.
Yeah.
Always. Whereas now, with that Quinn-built car, I feel like next year he could be fucking savage. Like, savage. Bagsy again, like, brutal. Can they both win?
Can only be one
There
champion.
can only be one champion. Yeah, I'm going to go Bagsy in his new car. Like, new Bagsy, like, this year, that Kevin Quinn built car. I reckon.
Is there anyone else that you can think of that could possibly beat Bagsy?
Oh, Matt Fitton.
Yeah, he's pretty good, right?
Yeah, he comes second to all of us.
Did he?
He's straight like BMW.
Anyone else? A UK driver?
Yeah.
Stefan Stefanov.
Bagsy. Okay, Bagsy.
Oh, that would be a good battle.
That would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There was.
I think Stefan Stefanov. If those two were to battle, Stefan Stefanov would beat him. But then I think Louis would. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's weird. Different driving styles. So like Louis would throw more angle, whereas I think Bagsy would throw more speed.
I think it would come down to the preciseness of the lead in the chase. Like, I don't. There would be no defining. There would be no defining. Oh yeah, they'll do it because of this. I think it would be a case of you would end up just being like, how good was the lead run compared to, it would come down to like the minute points.
One more time.
Yeah, it would literally be minute points, wouldn't it? It'd be the tiniest of mistakes you'd be criticising.
Yeah.
There was a driver, and I know his name was Dan, and I can never remember his fucking second name, who was in BDC, and he was a Pro 2 driver. And he had a black 14 with a massive rear wing on it. And he was fucking the most aggressive driver I've ever seen, and I loved him. I loved watching him so much. He was literally my favourite BDC driver at the time, out of all of them, Pro 2 driver.
Yeah.
I can never remember his fucking name. And I think he won Pro 2 as well.
Wow.
And then he just disappeared.
Yeah.
I think he won Pro 2 and never went to, like, Pro.
Yeah.
And I fucking loved him. He was just so aggressive. The first year he did Pro 2, he was like kept constantly crashing into everyone. It's like he couldn't never dial it back.
Yeah.
The second year he just had it perfect. It was just like kind of like Cooper. He was just so unbelievably aggressive, but made it work all the time. There was never a moment where there was never a distance. He was just fucking there constantly. It was just epic. But I don't think he would beat Stefanov. But he was just a fucking awesome driver. I just didn't.
There you go. Chuck down in the comments what you think your champion of champions who you could drift with.
Who do you think?
Yeah, you don't get away from this fucking scot-free.
Yeah.
When I was writing the list, I'm kind of on the Matt Carter or Martin Richards vibe. Martin Richards, for me, has been a driver that has done very, very well previously. He's not doing so much at the moment, but Matt Carter back in the day was just an animal. I somewhat agree with Stefanov, that's why I put him in the list, because he is just...
It's just another level. But thinking about it now, like, maybe it's because it's more... because he's still fresh in it, so you see it more. So it's you think of the stuff that he's done recently, like you saying about stuff that people have done in the past. Like maybe you just kind of forget about it a little bit, whereas you're still seeing Stefanov throwing silly fucking angle and you know.
Another driver I didn't put in, Arunas Namontis.
Oh yeah,
that was another one that I was going to chuck in.
Fucking awesome driver.
Yeah, awesome driver, awesome car. He could be in there somewhere.
Oh, let's not add more people.
Okay.
No.
We'll settle on that then.
Yeah, we'll settle on that. Yeah.
Bagsy or Stefanov. We'll go Bagsy first, Stefanov
Fuck,
second.
I'd love to see that battle.
Maybe 2025. We will see that.
I'd fucking love to see that battle.
Autofest 2025. Bagsy versus.
Let's do this.
No, that'd be awesome.
Fancy battle.
Oh, imagine that. Fucking hell. Guys, if you're keen, fucking hell. Someone tag him in it. Like,
You don't have to pay or nothing.
Trade 20 quid each. Free tire changing. Oh, can you imagine them two? Fuck.
Who would be your fantasy battle? It doesn't matter, all over the world. If you could pick two drivers to battle against each other, who would they be?
Interesting.
I know who I'd pick.
Who would you pick?
Stefanov and McKeever.
See, that it would be a fantastic battle.
That would be fucking awesome. Can you imagine the noise of it as well and the angle and this? Oh, that'd just be a fucking battle and a half, wouldn't it?
I reckon McKeever would win.
Yeah, I think.
But he is my favourite driver.
I think it'd just be a fucking awesome battle to watch. I think that'd be great. What about you then? What are you thinking?
What I'm thinking.
To be honest, I've not thought about this myself. The question wasn't supposed to come back on me.
How it works around it. What about you?
Conor Shanahan.
Charlie Shipley.
Oh, no.
Did you not see it with last Autofest, bro?
Mate, I ran so close to the wall that I nearly clipped my front bumper on the end of clip. Connor.
Conor Shanahan and Chelsea to Nova.
Ooh.
Like Mondello Park or something.
Ooh.
Oh, what on Connor's like?
Yeah.
Ooh.
God, that'd be, yeah.
Because De Nova is probably one of my favourite drivers.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah. He's very good. I like that he can make a car work as well. Like this Porsche that he's got working now, and that thing shouldn't work.
No.
Yeah.
And it does. But yeah, all the way through FD and stuff, he's just animal. Absolute animal. Yeah. I can't really think, but if it were for me, if I was to watch one battle that would make my drifting career complete, would be James Dean versus Naoki Nakamura. The two of them together, right? That would complete it for me.
For you commentating for it.
Yeah,
I still
imagine
feel like
that.
Dean would win.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think so as well.
I think so.
This is the problem with Dean. I fucking like. I mean, I don't even understand how he can do what he does. Just win every. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. His cars are fucking amazing, and he's just so good. But it's like you see him, and you're like, he'll win.
Yeah.
It's almost like you just know he
I
will
reckon
win.
this year, so he missed a round of Drift Masters, and then he had the dry sump belt come off at another round. If he'd managed to finish those 2 rounds,
He would have won it.
He'd have won it.
Yeah.
As well as FD.
Yeah.
And he's
never
is it the-
stressed.
No,
He's just
he
like-
doesn't- he gets out of a car, doesn't he, after an amazing battle. All right, mate, calm down.
Is it the Oman drifting?
Yeah.
He's won. Was
Yeah.
it this year? He's
Yeah.
won that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So potentially.
So I mean, it's just
multiple
literally
champions.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So kind of like, it used to be a little bit like, you know, if you'd see like a battle and you'd be like, they could take James Dean down. And nowadays you're like, James Dean won. Like, do you know what I mean? No one's really seeming to be taking him down that much at the moment. You think, like you said, he missed 1 round and then a car failure. It's like no one's really like pushing him out of these championships at the moment.
Do you finish 2nd place?
Yeah.
Drift Masters here.
Yeah, I feel like McKeever would be the one who could probably push him out a little bit, but it's just car problems, isn't he? Like played with car problems this year.
I think the level that McKeever's at, I don't think he has the backing that he deserves. Obviously, you've got Shanahan's, you've got Red Bull.
Yeah, he doesn't have that huge sponsor.
Doesn't have the massive sponsor, which obviously, like, he wanted to do DMAC. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. There was like almost like a GoFundMe that Dave Egan set up so he can go to it or something like that. If they buy T-shirts, then the fund goes towards Dwayne McKeever so he can go to DMAC.
I
and
remember
stuff
that
like
actually.
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah. And he's never had that proper backing. I'm sure everything, like, he probably has some backing, but not enough. Like, I expect his engines will pay for it out of his own pocket and stuff like that. Whereas I guarantee the Shanahan's Red Bull pay for everything.
But they still build them, don't they?
Oh, probably, but that's just because you'd want to build your own. Someone else is going to put the money in.
I don't know, I see my building skills, mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to.
Jack builds all their cars. pretty
Yeah.
much, does
Yeah.
all the fab
Yeah.
work and that.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't have the backing that he deserves, and I think that's what's holding him back. That's what I think anyway.
Be interested to see what 2025 brings. Talking about as well, Dave Egan
Yeah, it's
competing,
coming back, isn't it?
competing for 2025.
What's he competing in then? Drift Masters?
I would have believed so.
Because obviously all I saw was the post he put up that he's moving away from the organising it,
Yep.
sort
Yeah,
of,
I saw
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
and that he's going back to competing.
Well, he's always been involved with it. You know, he was director of.
I thought it was his whole. I thought he was.
No. So
Oh,
he was a
right.
director
Okay.
at one point, but then stepped down from it, joined the I don't want to say committee, but joined the sort of organisation of it. But then for like the past couple of years, he's just been the commentator. That's it.
Oh, I didn't actually know that.
Is it Warehouse that
Warehouse own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, worth opening up.
Oh, education time. Didn't know that. Did not know that.
There you go.
That'd be cool. That'd be good to see.
Peter Wojcik.
Winsek, yeah.
It's his son, isn't it? The guy who owns. Is that right?
His dad, yeah, owns
His
it.
dad
Yeah.
owns it. Yeah.
Worth
Because you see, obviously, the Worth House car. It kind of makes sense now. You say.
Yeah. He's
What
not
I want to
responsible
know
for it.
is why Workhouse dropped Dean
Ooh.
from FD,
Oh,
because he was on a three-year championship streak, and Workhouse dropped him.
there is a video about that.
Oh.
Somewhere in the depths of YouTube, there is a video.
I'll link it here. I learned how to do it. I'll link the video here.
Right here.
No, it's got to be the top left corner. It can't be in the middle. It's got to be the top left corner.
Is that the top
So
left
up
corner
here
then?
Yeah, over there. Yeah.
Because this is the top left.
Yeah, that would be.
You're off the screen at the moment.
Yeah.
You need to go directly up.
Directly up.
That'll do. Yeah, there we go.
About there. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
there is
I
a video
can
about
find it. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Right.
It doesn't go into all the details. There are some still details that are hidden. But yeah, really interesting watch because I thought exactly the same because those two looked unstoppable as a team, and I thought, well, you ain't gonna beat that.
Yeah, what's
And then
happened
some-
there?
He had started coming onto his own, didn't he? And Dean had just come off the pro championship streak.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it was something to do with that. I'm gonna watch that. That'd be interesting.
We'll find it. Yeah.
I think it's time to ask you for an unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I've already had to do another one. Have you actually thought of one yet? What? An unpopular opinion?
Yeah, 46 is better than a 36.
It's just an
That's
opinion.
like last year. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
What am I meant
I
to
mean,
be
I
doing
feel
a new
like
one?
Well, I felt like that was a bit of a crap one, really.
Why was it a crap one?
Yeah, because it's just an opinion, isn't it? It's not really unpopular.
Of course it's unpopular. He don't like it.
You don't like anything.
That's true. Yeah, can't even argue with that.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on a rant. Right?
Also,
I'm going to go on a rant, right? And I'm going to look down the camera, right? And I'm
do you
going
want me to
to
zoom it in for you?
Yeah, zoom it in for me,
hang on,
right? And
hang on,
I can do this. Right, let's have a look. There we go. Right?
Hang on.
Does this make me look really ugly?
Makes you look a bit psychotic. Right, go for it.
Right. Stop getting shit people to do shit work to your cars. Alright? I'm fucking fed up of you having shit work done to your cars and then fucking moaning about it when it goes wrong. I know, let's get a mapper to map the high heavens about it so you can get a good, decent fucking printout on the rollers. You go out on the fucking track, it lasts 3 fucking minutes, and then you go, oh yeah, my car's fucking broke again. Well, get a decent fucking mapper then. When you can zoom back out now. When I was writing it, I was getting so riled up. I was getting so riled up writing it because so many people are just, honestly, they're getting these cars like mapped and set up and built by cars by people that don't know what they're fucking doing, and it's doing my head in, right? They're winding them up to fucking God knows what. Oh look, I got 1,000 horsepower. Yes, but it lasts 2 minutes, mate, before you fucking melted the pistons. Oh yeah, well, you know, I've just spent 20 grand on it. We've just wasted 20 grand. You couldn't get a decent mapper to map it for you.
Are you going to say any names?
No, this is what I said earlier. I'm not naming any names. Alright,
Put initials in or...
no,
Colours of the cars?
you know who you are, right? If you've just had your car mapped, right, and you've paid a lot of fucking money for it, and it's just fucking blown up, right? It's you, alright? You're watching this, it's you. You are the problem. Sort your shit out.
Oh mate, I'm so cropping this into a little video.
You okay, hon?
No, I'm not. I'm so rolled up. I just fed up of people spending shitloads on their cars and going, oh, I know, yeah, there's half-assed
YouTube
to
short
this.
anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, right.
That's not really an unpopular opinion.
Do you
That's more
recommend
of
a
a rant.
mapper then for these people?
Yes, but again, I'm not naming names because then I'll get a load of abuse for that going, oh, they fucking
Is it the
mapped
same
my car."
person who I use? Start with M
Maybe,
and ends in B.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't let him see this because,
He won't fucking watch this.
well, he might do. No,
He might now you're on it, maybe.
no, he
But he ain't going to make it 2
no,
hours.
he's especially not watching because I'm on it.
Alright.
But yeah, right. My second one. Right, my
So I need
second
to
one.
zoom back in or you're
No, we're not going to zoom back in.
Right, okay.
Stop. There's 2 parts to this, right? Stop buying cars that are beyond your ability of driving, right? Stop buying a car that's full drift master spec, if you plan to go around a fucking B&Q car park and do some shitty donuts for it to be all over fucking YouTube and for fucking kids to wank you off, it just does my nutting. Why are you buying those sort of cars, right? Get a car and modify it to your ability, right? I'll take my S14 for example, right? I loved my S14, it was basic. It was fucking basic lock kit on it, and it was basic power. I didn't need 1,000 horsepower, and I used it to my ability. Only at the point where I've gone, do you know what? This car is at my maximum capability. There's no more that I can do. It's now the car. Do I then upgrade it? There is no point in going from, I'm going to go from a 323 BMW, and fucking hell, now I've got 1,000 horsepower S15. No names!
Jesus fucking Christ! Have you seen that gif of the kid who goes, Jesus Christ?
It's sorry to hear. Right?
I feel right now.
Right, build a car to your ability. Build a car for what you're going to use it for, alright? And you don't need to chuck fucking 60 grand at it just because it's cool to do, alright? You don't need Wise Fab, alright? You might need some bit of a lock kit. Unless you're competing in Drift Masters or high competition, just get a simple lock kit.
I'm still on cut and welded.
Exactly.
Same.
And
Yeah.
and how'd you get on with that?
I love it.
Yeah, it works.
Absolutely love
It works. Get on well with it. Job done.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
And we were saying about the problem. I feel like if I went to WiseFab, I'd be forever sat there going, but I know there's more I could get out of it. And I'd never leave the fucking thing alone and never drive it. I'd change it every time I drove it, I would change it. So yeah, for me, cut and welded hubs. Fit and fab. Thanks, mate. Always worked. Always been great.
Shameless plug there.
Shameless plug indeed. You won't do anything about it.
Final one.
One.
Stop blagging parts from companies. And I'm talking sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
People have taken this sponsorship name too far, where they're going to companies and they're going, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this, we'll do that. And the company, pretty blindsided to it, go, yeah, okay, there you go.
Which companies? Because I'd really like them to do that. Because I've had no fucking luck whatsoever.
I wouldn't mind some bits.
Shit. You got me on a rant now. Now I'm angry and I'm just going to chuck abuse at everyone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to.
No, literally, like, I see people... Now, for me, I had a couple of small sponsors when I was doing it, but it worked both ways, right? All sponsorship has to work both ways.
100%.
Right? If you're... For example, I was sponsored by a wheel company fairly locally, right? And I didn't just want cheap parts. I wanted to put their wheels on, plaster my car with it, and then use it for going to events and advertising their wheels on my car at events and stuff like that. You know, it works both ways. Whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do it. If it's a priority that I do that, then absolutely, if they're going to do that. You know, they didn't plough thousands of pounds in like big sponsorship companies do, but that was me, and I was pretty small time at the time, and I was like, do you know what, thank you very much, you know, that's what I'm going to do for you. But there's too many people that are blagging stuff and then moaning when they haven't got the money next year to do it because the sponsorship pulled out. It's because you're not paying them back. You're not paying the respects back to them. You're not doing things for them that you should be doing. It always works both ways. You should look after your sponsors, absolutely always, you know, and especially with how expensive things are now, sponsorship sometimes is the only way to go, and you should be really looking after your sponsors because they're the people that put you on the grid, they're the people that give you the wheels, put you on the tyres.
Big shout out, Keywords, we love you.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
you know,
honestly, yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
You need to give back as well as just take. You can't just take.
Exactly.
Take. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I know. I'd like to think that's not aimed at us because we don't really have many sponsors.
No,
But
absolutely
I mean, Keywise have been fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Mainly to you, they've been good to you, and they've been good to me as well. And every single car show we go to, and we take flags and we hand out cards. When we did Autofest, we had the whole events trailer and stuff.
Yeah.
Could have done without it, but they do so much for us. We want them out there
Absolutely.
everywhere. You know, heads what's on the wall.
Flyers,
Always
pens,
say everything, always. Because it goes two ways.
Mm.
Without them, we wouldn't be able to do fuck all of what we do. So it goes both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We always try and advertise it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I have probably been that guy who's tried it in the past when I didn't
We've all
really
tried it.
have anything to offer. Like for instance, when I bought the 720 wheels, I messaged 720 and asked for a discount to run pure and simply their wheels, which they honoured. and they do it, and I've run nothing but their wheels since. That's that. I've run all the same in all the same colour. I even told them I was going to paint them custom, so I've kind of done like what you said. You kind of stick to that deal, don't you?
Yeah.
And I send them pictures of the car, which they still stick up on their website. But I mean, the discount wasn't like huge anyway, but it was still something. And
It helps. Every little helps.
Mate, saving 10% off of something these days helps.
Yeah.
Because everything's so expensive. But yeah, I think a lot of people focus a hell of a lot on sponsorship and aren't willing to really do a lot back.
Correct.
Like sponsorship, people think, oh, this company's going to give me 10 grand to do whatever the fuck I want with, and all I have to do is put a sticker on my car. It's never, ever. Like the talks that go into, you know, even low time sponsorship is a long period of time, and it's a whole like, I'll do this, you do this, and you have to meet them criteria from both of them. So the sponsors have to meet it as well as you do. So yeah, I agree. Like people expecting stuff because they've done a couple of skids around the car park. How do I go about sponsors? It ain't gonna happen.
No,
It ain't
absolutely
gonna
not.
happen.
Absolutely
And it kind of ruins it for people that deserve the sponsors.
not. Yeah.
So the people that
definitely.
abuse it, it ruins it for the people that could actually do
Yeah,
something
because
for
then
that
people
company.
will say like, oh, you know, I sponsored this car and I got nothing out of it.
Yeah, like why would I do that again? They just won't. They're
Yeah.
not going to, are they?
Anymore?
That's my.
I don't feel like they're unpopular opinions. I feel like you just ranted about things that you feel quite
I
passionately
did tell
about.
you when you messaged me
Yeah.
saying about unpopular opinions, and I was just like, I'm just going to go on a rant.
Yeah, and I was all for it. To be fair, I feel like we
yeah.
should have started the podcast with just
No,
started
that was
with
my
it.
rantiness. That was my years
love
of
it.
rantiness. That's the things I can't say over the microphone, but I can say over this. So,
You can say whatever you want here. It's a safe space. Here, have a pillow.
oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
How did you find our casting couch?
Do you know what? I walked in and I thought, am I going to get raped?
Yes.
The night still hasn't ended.
Yeah,
Just saying,
I
it's still
know.
over with.
There's still time for a raping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone if you don't see me ever again, you know where I am.
Or if he doesn't look quite the same, like there's a little bit lost out of his eyes, his soul's gone. You know what happened on this sofa here today.
Help, please.
Honestly, like seriously, thank you so much for coming on.
No, not a
Hugely
problem.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been,
It's been brilliant. Yeah,
been good.
yeah, it's been nice to have like people like someone on. So we have actually got more guests now coming on, which is good. But you've kind of started the trend, so it's great. So thank you so much, and I massively appreciate the fact that you've driven all the way down to come and do
Not
it
a
as well.
problem. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Like when I seen the podcast come out, I was like, "That's cool." Talking about stuff that I like talking about. I want it in,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's been
it's good.
great.
You've rambled, we ramble. That's what we like.
Yeah.
It's just like you can tell everyone now. Don't need to be scared. Just
No.
come down, fucking chat on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Absolutely. Come down.
You're just literally chatting in front of three blokes. It's just as a camera there.
Yeah,
Can
exactly.
I as a bloke?
Yeah.
I don't really know what you are. Like a shell of a man.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's no soul left.
There's no soul in
Dead
there.
inside.
Your ex-missus took that with CSA, didn't she?
I hope she doesn't watch YouTube.
Nah, she won't watch this. He's in it. So.
I'm sure my kid watches this.
Which one?
Mia.
Does she know what CSA is?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, she knows it's right then. She won't make it for an hour and 40 minutes.
Probably not.
Is that long we've been going for?
We have been going for 1 hour and 52 minutes.
Blimey.
This is a good one.
That's a good one. Should we split it into two?
No.
No.
No, straight up all the way through.
That is a lot of shit we've talked.
That's going to be a bitch to export.
And it does, yeah. And it doesn't actually
Yeah.
feel like you've been sat for 2 hours talking,
No,
does it?
no.
Although I've been dying for a week for the past hour.
Right, let's end
I
it
was
there.
thinking to myself, I needed a wee actually.
We could have paused it.
And a cigarette.
That's the amazing thing about modern technology. You can pause things.
Yeah, it's easier to edit. All you've got to do is the beginning and the end now.
True. True.
Right, I
Very
think
true.
we should end it there.
Yeah.
Agreed. Thank you so,
Thank you so
much
much.
for joining us.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for having me. It's been great to be on.
And it's been nice to hear some opinions rather than ours. And the rants were fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
I think we should change it instead of unpopular opinion. It should be unpopular opinion or rant.
Yeah.
Like just let
Yeah.
people go fucking full ham.
Safe space to rant.
Yeah.
I'm regretting the thumbnail from this. I really am.
This is going to be.
Oh, I'm going to clickbait the fuck out of this video.
here we
I'm
go.
definitely going to clickbait it.
Here we go.
Titch fucking hates UK drifting.
Oh, brilliant. No, Titch hates UK drifters.
Yeah.
Drifters.
You know who you are. Alright, cool. Thank you very
Take
much,
care.
guys.
Thank you very much.
See ya.